right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Welcome to November. I can't believe it is already here. We are coming back with a pretty big week. I mean, there's a lot of activity. You had a bunch of deals from Amazon and Iran, Microsoft, OpenAI, Dell. Everybody was getting a part of it. And then there was another $45 billion of M&A activity. There was a lot, I think 3 or 4 different companies, a couple of other announcements. You still have about 136 companies reporting here in the morning or here in this week. We get a little bit of data. Wednesday has a big tariff case, and now do we hit more all-time highs or not? Does the seasonality take over or not? It should be an exciting one. So I think it's going to be a great day. I don't know if you've claimed that or anybody told you yet, but yeah, we got a lot in store. So I hope you're locked in ready, baby. But Chatadonia, game time. So happy Monday. Good morning. And before we begin, before we do anything, before we try to chase a dollar, before we try to enrich ourselves, we must pay homage to a very special group of people, one that has made a sacrifice that most of us never have and ever will. And I'm talking about the veterans of the United States of America. So on behalf of the cult, I want to give a huge special shout out, active service, past service, anybody who has served this country. For real, thank you for everything. Thank you for your service, commitment, sacrifice. It don't matter if you agreed with it or not. Y'all really did hold it down. So I do hope that we can honor you almost every single day. I hope all the people who never served can really understand it. But at the end of the day, I do want to speak to you and let you know, man, this is your time. You have already given so much and fought for so much of this country, and you've done it with so much honor. If anybody should be owning the land, if anybody should be owning the stocks, my friend, it should be you. So I hope you do use all of that training, all of that discipline. You did walk away with some things. I do hope that you apply that, stay away from the scoundrels, and I hope we can help. But at the very least, man, I do want to say God bless you and thank you, and big shout outs to your families as well, because y'all even made the sacrifice too. Everybody did. So God bless the veterans. God bless America. You know that, freedom in America. Oh, don't get me started on a Monday. But God bless you all, and big shout out, active service, past service, doctors, nurses, teachers, anywhere, don't matter, man. Did you serve your community? That also deserves a shout out. Did you do it with the honor, with the objective honor? I hope you get it. I hope you get the honor, man. That's why we do this every morning, if anybody deserves it. So I love y'all, man, and thank you for everything. But I do hope you love yourself more importantly and live up to your highest calling. But ladies and gentlemen, please rise up. Place your right hand over your heart. Say it with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all, baby. Suck at the judge! Oh, it's game time, baby. Horn on. Let's go. Wow. Wow. So Chatadonia. Oh, we got mad time, dude. Oh, nice. I thought we were going to be late. Nah, we got good time, bro. Oh, it's a good day. Oh, it's going to be a good day. If it ain't already, you ain't already wake up to a good day, it's going to be a good one, man. So I do have a couple of plays. I'm going to be watching Kenvue, Iran. Again, Kenvue is a buyout, so be careful. Iran, again, there's 2 or 3 different deals. Some chads are even getting a little bit more bullish on it. Amazon, again, OpenAI deal, then NVIDIA. Got some Blackwell updates, but they went up. Don't forget about the Netflix stock split. That also has been juicing it. Then watch every single China name if you know. If you know, you know. China's good for you. I like China a lot. I do right now. So we'll see how it all plays out, but welcome to November. Seasonality, buybacks, earnings, you name it. It is all here, baby. So yeah, get ready for all of it. Let's have a great Monday. I don't know, how do you guys like daylight savings? Oh shit, did my shit already freeze, bro? Tell me why ain't nothing but a long chase. All right, I'll BRB. Game time. Jesus. Praise God. Amen, amen. It's a cult, baby. Hey. Yeah. If we talking plays, yeah, I'm in there like swimwear. I've been there, I've done this shit for 10 years. You could have it all, but you been scared, big scare. Funny part, there wasn't even risk there. My thoughts been my own, yeah, I've been clear, no fear. Oh dear, who you tryna control here? My God is the weapon, I ain't boasting. Nah, it's done. Daddy said it's finished, made me in his image, but that always made me timid. Wonder why we different, don't you ever get it twisted. It's the only way we get it, set apart from the start. And the heart isn't ours, it's a hippie with the love, but it's David with the sword. I want peace, so that means you gon' kill me if it's war. Nietzsche, Trotsky, can't beach on the ark. Want it easy or hard, want a genie or a god, then believe me, lil' bruh, you a child, you a son of the highest in the bud. Don't deny it, we don't like it when they tell us who we are. I can tell you who I was, I can tell you who he is. I can make another song that's telling y'all about the crib, but for a second, keep it real, it's not the reason they will kill. It's the freedom in believing, they want death to bring the will. But I'd rather have it now, and I ain't never backing down. Lion gonna eat me or turn his ass around. Either way, I will remain up in his name and say a prayer. Here, let's say it now, Jesus. I put Jesus on the beat so I can listen to it. I got reason to believe that we living in it. You could say it's one hell of a decision in it. Ay, if we talking plays, yeah, I'm in there like swimwear. I've been there, I've done this shit for 10 years. You could have it all, but you been scared, big scare. Funny part, there wasn't even risk there. My thoughts been my own, yeah, I've been clear, no fear. Oh dear, who you try to control here? My God is the weapon, I ain't boasting.
I hope y'all had a good weekend.
Man.
I know, bro. Daylight savings too.
Stop it.
Well, it's game time, baby. We got less than 1 minute till the bell. I hope you're locked in. Make sure you are always looking at your own charts as well. I don't know what your guys' delay is going to be, so pay attention to all of that. And yeah, man, please don't post any plays. Give me some good info, good questions, and I will get you some good info as well. So let's do it, baby. There's a lot of things in play, but like I said on Friday, I moved a lot of things around. That's why I kind of want to focus in on about one or two main themes. And I feel like there was a lot going on, and just be mindful of premiums not moving. We're going to find out really shortly here what we're kind of dealing with. I think Amazon will be a good litmus test of all of that. But yeah, so I'd wrap it up though, and make sure you don't give anything back. Be wise, but there is still a lot of major themes and plays to juggle. 3, 2, 1. Round 1. Fight. Okay. Thoughts been my own, y'all been clear. Oh dear. Oh nice. The Netflixes are still going. Alright, yeah, I think the Amazons did move. I don't know if they're gonna stay up. Yeah, they came right back up. So we'll see. That's good, but it's a 5% move. So near the monies. Give it a second though. We're gonna find again a lot of OpenAI deals. A lot of OpenAI deals. Yeah, you could get that song on SoundCloud, I believe. Yeah, so a lot of them just came right back to where they were on Friday. Remember, it all depends on what time frame you're on. Oh dear. Yeah, so not bad. Not bad. Let's see the NIV does. Again, IREC you had or AREC had the government one. Alright, cool, Amazon. Oh, I forgot. The Nvidia's too. Again, they kept saying no Blackwell deal, but it's holding up. Yeah, those premiums are around the same price. They're still lower, though. So even Nvidia is climbing a little bit, but they were a lot more juiced on Friday. Where's the buyouts? And then let's see. IREN, Kenview. IREN just had a deal, actually. So they weren't even a buyout. I can't, dude. It's already November, you guys. It's kind of crazy. You are in November. I don't know if you knew that. Oh, y'all been clear. Oh dear. That sucks because I like some of these, but like I'm saying, I am worried about the about having too many. I want to see. There's only one major theme that I care about. There's like 5 or 10 other ones. That's the juggling we're gonna have to do. What is this, Habibi? How do they even do this one? PayPal. Eric. All right, Eric already gave. I think Eric has another like 10% down and then another 10% up or 20% up. Or just going to stay pinned off of the cash open. And then Microsoft. Watch the China ones. All right, yeah, China plays are holding. Yeah, China did not even do much. Oh, Path on the high. And then Tesla, everybody's debating the one deal. Well, Kenview is a weird Kenview. I'm sure, actually, I think we might have a Kenview call. But they do have a deal, like a buyout price. No, those expired. But the thing with Kenview is it's a pretty slow mover. I think that deal was very surprising. It kind of blew my mind. SAP, Team, Carvana. Again, NVIDIA is starting to climb. I think if NVIDIA goes a little bit... What was the price it was at last week? Yeah, you got to get past like the 211s, 212. We'll see if that starts to set new premium. Remember, they have like a week or two till earnings. And then Eli Lilly, remember on Friday, that was going. So that one's actually still holding. All right, the Amazons, are they already coming down? And they're moving a little slower, but there it is. It's starting to wake up. So now you have one more set on the Amazons. They're a little bit higher. Let's see. Remember, Amazon did not move, and that's why last week it got excited. But 5%, I don't know. I don't really like that. So you got 3,000% if you bottom tick them, and then you have like 100% depending on if you got a good fill on Friday. So if you positioned at the low, they hit. They still hit 2 on the other ones, but yeah, I don't know if that's too amazing or not. All right, that's still going. Damn, 52-week high on Amazon, actually. Didn't really think about that. Not bad. 2 days away from the longest government shutdown. Isn't that crazy? Okay, I'm making some free. Oh, what's that? Nivda with the red? Habibi, le keda. Le keda, Habibi. Why you do this? Das bin my own. Yeah, bin Claire. Oh, dear. And then we gotta see one more round of China's if we could get a good one. And then I'll give you guys one locked in. All right, locked in. Not a recommendation. You will lose money. You will. All right. All right, the NVIDIAs are climbing, but they're just nowhere near the other one. The Netflixes are up too, but they had more of a run on Friday. Remember, they were the ones that just actually held up. Who's the other one? Okay. good luck on that. Am I interested in Beyond today for earnings? Damn, nobody told you, big dog? Damn, they delayed their earnings, homeboy. So yeah, I don't know. Good luck with that. We made our shares free at a really good price, so I wouldn't really be too obsessed with it, but that's up to you. But I think the earnings this week are going to be a little weirder. They're 138 companies. They're not as big as some of the ones we had last week. So yeah, DD, that one's going up. DuPont? There was another one. I think DDD, the 3D systems. And then yeah, the Netflixes are going. CRISPR, or that's something else. No, that's CRISPR. And then where's that other one? The Cipher. They have earnings and they had the Amazon deal. Am I tripping? No, there's something CRSP. It looked like it was going up. Even got Bitcoin up. And then SPY, bro, one green candle to start. So SPY's up 0.3, NASDAQ 3/4, but Dow and the Russell are both down. CRSR, is that what it was? Yeah, Corsair. Oh, nice. MTSR, Metsara, they're still kind of holding. And then Monster and Bitcoin is moving up. Or Monster, MSTR. Yeah, Apple, a lot of the big tech, I think, except, let me see, Microsoft. They're holding up decent. And then so is Meta, but they could have been a lot better. The equal weight must be dumping. You have Palantir earnings today. I don't know if you guys recall this. Let's take a look at good old equal weight. Oh yeah, literally equal weight in 3 minutes just gave up all of Friday. So yeah, you're down 0.5% on equal weight. Meanwhile, NASDAQ's up. So that setup, let's see if this holds up. But remember, that was kind of the issue on Friday. If you get this weird, shitty breadth, then yeah. Yeah, so I would look into the Beyond shit, man. If you guys didn't know that and y'all are like hella involved with it, just, you know, they did have a big update this morning. So I encourage you to look that shit up. Das bin my own, yeah, bin clear. Lumen, that was one on the 2 weeks ago. That still just keeps going. Yeah, Palantir does have earnings today. So that's a Monday one after the bell. And then SPY's still dropping. So again, NASDAQ is pretty solid. You got some really big tech gainers. And then just remember what happened on Friday. I mean, even Netflix coming down a little bit, but you had Amazon holding you up pretty well. And even all last week, that was the narrowest rally you've seen in about 35 years. So keep that in mind. But if that starts to play out, I still think it could change. It's early. That's what I was telling you. We got to pay attention to the premiums. So I didn't like them too much. A couple banks are going up. And Tesla's starting to work up. They have the China cybercab stuff this week. A lot of people aren't talking about that one. And then you have the pay package thing. I think that's what's getting, that's where all the attention's going. Yeah, Citi, and then what's called Bank of America, and I believe Morgan Stanley on the high. SPY still going down. Oh, let's see some value, dude. No, dude, value's getting murdered. Bro, value's down. XLP's down by 0.8 right now. So yeah, you are playing this game. It might, look at that. It just took another knife on the equal weight. Literally 0.25% in a candle or two. Ay, ay, ay. Habibi, le queda. Why they do this, Habibi? Yeah, Netflix premiums are finally going down. That's what I'm saying. Things are just moving slower now. So that is something we got to watch out for. The Nvidia is good, actually, but you did have more money on it after that one event. But yeah, staples, equal weight, breadth, you could smell the breadth today. And then Tesla's still going. Uber's on the high. They had a partnership with Toast. Iron still chilling. Win on the high. And bro, listen, man. If any idiot tries to tell you that there's a difference in casinos because of the rich and poor gap and make it some big social issue, that's a lie, okay? Just Win has some of the most casinos in China, okay? Just, I don't know who needs to hear this, but It has nothing to do with the fucking wealth gap. I can't believe it. Cisco unveiled unified AI server rack. Habibi. See if it takes its sticks. They don't really move too much. And then Netflix going down. Like I said just a second ago, those premiums are starting to move. Even the Amazon, it started to top out a little bit. Yeah, literally. So I made it free, and then they just went down like 50%. You're still up 2,000%, but yeah, I don't fucking like it. This is what I'm telling you. It's been like this since the last, like, ever since that, like, equal weight market breadth, ever since the NVIDIA event, pretty much, it's been very hard for these premiums to, like, top out. Yeah, CoreWeave's down. You even have Cores. Remember that. Bloom Energy's pop in. They had a lot of deals and earnings last week. Sweet Green's on the high. Sweet Green's at 6. On Napco's earnings? Oh, I have no idea what Napco is. Makes me want to take a nap. But no, I don't know what that one is. Yeah, dollar you guys should keep an eye out for. Depending on how things play. But let me see. Just very hard to play the dollar. It's kind of the downside. Thoughts been my own. Yeah, I've been clear. Oh dear. What? That's in the money? Oh, where's your boy Intel, dog? Intel at 40 lunar. Oh, I was gonna say, watch the space stocks. And then Microsoft starting to go up. Symbiotic. Thar unhalted. TSM on the high. And then S&P Global Manufacturing 52.5 versus 52.2. Again, we have manufacturing data, and then you're going to get another set of data. I forgot. I don't think those will hit. That's whack. I read it on the high. Remember, they had good earnings. It just didn't do it. And then Microsoft breaking out. See if the IREN and all the partnership stocks go. Apple on the low. Amazon's even taking a candle. China. This beat is my recital. Tesla on the high. Nibis going down. Again, you just had data manufacturing-wise, but I don't think we moved too much. Tesla's really starting to do its own thing now because they were down earlier. Now it's up to even Microsoft starting to climb. Remember, Microsoft didn't really have the big earnings move. Google did. And then Apple's on the low. Boeing's on the high. Let's see Meta. He was the oddball last week. After all of that, Netflix giving up some of the... Netflix won something in the morning, so it gave up a decent amount. And there's Win on the high. Yeah, IREN had a bunch of deals. Thar, that one got unhalted and then went down. Uwami's on the way up. Remember, last week they did very good and then they just dumped. I like TJ Maxx. I think that could be both a big earnings, and then I need to see where they're at value-wise. I remember they were one of the value plays for a second. Oh, no, that was a long time ago. This year, you could have got them a little cheaper, but no, yeah, they're doing way too good. That could be a big earnings move, though, but I don't know about long-term. The plays are save 10% and get a long-term. That is what we do. Well, not a bad time. SPNT, Lumen still going. Dollar Tree now. I feel like all the budget plays like TJ Maxx, Dollar Tree, those have been good. I remember DG and Dollar Tree. Maybe that's what I was thinking. Those are your value at one point. But it's good. I saw a lot of people talking about value. I mean, everybody was bringing up the market breadth last week and kind of how narrow, literally it was a historically narrow rally. And they were just bringing up how, you know, go look at a lot of names. Go look at the year-to-date consumer stocks that are down, and you will see there's a lot of value there. So if you get this AI stuff leading and it doesn't, if we have another year like this, yeah, they're not going to do shit. But you know, whenever that does start to change, you are going to get a nice little opportunity. Kimberly Clark, well, they're just moving on the buyout. I mean, especially them buying Kenvue. I kind of like it, but you know that's the only reason why they're down. So the reason why Kimberly Clark is down is because they're buying Kenvue, but then like the price of how they're doing it, if it's like a part merger, it starts to devalue the company essentially. So yeah, I would like Kimberly Clark. I actually think this might end up being a gift because I like Kenvue. I just didn't like Kenvue as a standalone. So if you pair up Kenvue with all this now, I might really be down. So I like how you said let the dust settle. I think you're thinking correctly. I would let the dust settle, but I would definitely keep it on watch. It meets every criteria. You know what it is. They have a lot of products that most people know and use about. It's down on the year, pays a dividend. So let the dust settle, figure out what's also contributing to that downside, and I do think you could really consider that. Airbus said to deliver 78 aircraft. I am thinking of adding more Chipotle. So we got to wait a little bit. I think let the dust settle there, and it's pretty much going to be the battle of NVIDIA. It's going to be the battle of, what was it? It's going to be the battle of Chipotle or NVO, because NVO after the earnings or whatnot, if they get clapped one more time, oh, that's it. No, Tap, we're going Tap if none of those look good, because Tap is easy. I really think Tap's even starting to go down a little bit, which I like, but I remember we missed the dividend last time. But yeah, I think Tap is one of those easier consumer plays. Pretty much if I don't like any of the other like growth, because remember Chipotle, Sweet Greens, these are growth names. More or less. And then even NVO, like I would prefer that one with the dividend if it went down a lot, but you see it's volatile. But I think Tap is going to be the easy one if we don't have any options. So we'll see. I got a deposit, right? Let me double check. I think I did. I got daylight savings. You know what I'm saying? Why is the live stream delayed? Why did you just figure that out, man? Where have you been? I missed you. I love you. Not really, but good morning. But yeah, so you guys are safe because the delay would prevent all the pumpers, and then it forces you to like look at everything. This is only a long-term chat for you guys. I have something for the options traders on YouTube. That's the locked in, but other than that, yeah, I want you guys safe, no pumping and info, and I don't know if it's a minute, I don't know if it's 2 minutes, but you know, you got to figure out that, but it'll protect you and force you to kind of look on it on your own. I convinced you to buy a house? Nice. I hope it was a good deal, man. I love Drew. Tell Drew what's up, man. He's a good guy. I've loved Drew, actually. He is a super dope dude. But, you know, make sure it was a good deal and you'll be good to go. So locked in has no delay. Yeah, man. What the fuck were you paying for? That that's homeboys in the, that's Conagra right there. That's Mr. Conagra. But yeah, bro, what did you don't know what you bought? That's it. That's all it is. It says real time. That's it. That's all it is, actually. Technically, I don't really offer anything else but the time. So yeah, man, that's exactly what you bought, brother. That's exactly what you bought. I can't believe he just figured that out. Oh yeah, bro, I'm back to cash. I had to make up some of the margin last time, but yeah, so we do have our deposit. I cannot look at those. No. What did I say about strike prices, brother? So you say, I expect more from you. So yeah, I don't want any strike prices in here. You know, I won't permanently ban you, but I don't want to see you for the rest of the day. But I'll tell you this, because it's like the propaganda that I called out even on Twitter, man. You guys don't realize they're writing these like fucking stock market erotica posts that, like, you know, try to get your mind all working, and then it all directs you to a option. I'm not gonna have you guys simulate that in your mind and go through some of these strikes and all that. So if you could ask the question. You should say, Josh, what does this much open interest mean? I saw a stock like this. What does this mean? But anything else, I'm gonna view it as you pumping, and you should too. Anybody trying to direct your eyeball and your mind towards like a strike price and option, I do think it gets a little bit, you know, it's a little bit more nefarious, or you just don't know nowadays. So that's why I would encourage you to lean or err on the side of caution. That's been my own. Yeah, bonds are going up. The watch list, I don't know. Well, for now, I just took off for the rest of the year. And remember, we even said, you know, watch list changes at the beginning of this year. If you go watch the trading fraternity videos, so you should have all been prepared to a certain degree. But yeah, and then I don't think I'm gonna be live in December. I'm gonna take off and go fucking travel the world and shit. So yeah, December, like a week after December, I might come on live randomly, but I am not planning to be here for the month of December. So this will be our last month for Stock Market Live in 2025. It's wild that the chat is split. Not really. I think some of y'all haven't been here too long, but most people have been cool with it. Like, for real, some of you guys complaining, you are the outlier. And then even on Friday, man, our assets were up to, I think it was like 112 million of just Chads alone. And then I had a couple of bigger people that I did not know that reached out. So I'll give you an update on the Robinhood thing. But yeah, I mean, most people, bro, and that's not including real estate, man. So I think you guys are doing great. And I think if you've listened and over the last 5 years, and let alone like locked in on the daily, and that's not including buying anything, yeah, I think most people get it. So if you haven't at this point, I hope you took the guidance at the beginning of the year and got you to you know, to move around a little bit and find out what you need. But if you are gonna complain about the esoterics and issues of a social thing, you may have missed the point. But yeah, let's get that long term, bro. You feel me? Woo! Yeah, man. Don't pump no shit there. That's not what the goal was. Like I said, stop putting strike prices. You have options are easy at this point, but I think the hard part is the social, and you got to deal with that. And I think most people, I tried to prepare you guys, but you know, I don't think a lot of people were ready for the social dynamic. And that's what I'm saying. Some people care about the wrong things socially, and then options, not even realizing, you know, the attention and how like people have guided it towards, you know, lower quality plays. So that's what I'm saying. Even this morning, I'm paying attention to the premiums. I'm trying to see if they're actually like working. So yeah, we'll see. So I'm pausing memberships that month? No, you guys get to pay me if you want to. But yeah, I'm glad that's where your focus is at. But yeah, no. But I might, you know, for that, I might even double the membership when I come back. So you may have to decide. So yeah, you're going to have to figure that one out now. Thank you, Finra. Woo! Yeah, I know. Look at that. So just lock in, pay attention. I mean, you guys have all made a fuck ton this last month, though, or last couple months, so don't worry. Either way, and then if I randomly show up, I randomly show up. I'm free! I got no strings, so I can't be. No, man, I'm very proud of you guys. That's what I'm saying. I think Vlad is not a serious person, but CVS going up. Remember, they had good earnings last week. But yeah, dude, I'm very proud of you guys. And I didn't include any scammers. I didn't include people that were banned, people I don't fuck with. I did not include it. And then that's not even including real estate assets, companies. You know, we have a couple chads doing crazy company shit. But at the end of the day, like, just like I've been telling you guys, man, thank you for being the evidence. It's a lot of fucking money. That's why I think everybody, you know, they really like you. If you really, or they want to get your money, they want you to part with it. But yeah, dude, not including like houses and shit, it's amazing. And I think you got some good stuff here, but I encourage you all to keep it and go harder. If anything, go harder and make sure you never give it back. But wow, it was a good one, bro. It was a good one. Yeah, not including retirements, all that, bro. And that's what I was saying, like, bro, everybody's trying to hit you with this propaganda lately. And they're like, look, this guy quit. I'm quitting my job. You guys heard the talk that we had the other day. And everyone's like, I'm quitting my job. I'm doing all this. Oh, I don't have an opportunity. It's like, dude, look at all of the chats. Thousands of people, bro. It's like, it's not sexy. It doesn't seem like it's fast money. But like, bro, if you just make small, good decisions, you're going to be happy, first of all. And then, dude, your assets are going to grow. That's just all that's happened. And people who, you know, who didn't have much, the everyday American, if you just did it, stuck with it for several years, bro, you're going to get everything you want. I really believe it. You know, that's why everyone's trying to sell you on take a exorbitant amount of risk, live with these crazy consequences. So to get this, oh, that's the ISM. We had the other one. So ISM 48.7 versus 49.5, a little weaker. That's why you're getting a bid on the bonds. Prices paid, oh my gosh, plummeted. 58 versus 62.5. Huh? So yeah. That's kind of crazy. But yeah, ISM prices paid just kind of plummeted. So see what the bonds do. They should be going up on that. You don't have any real equity reaction. Again, we do have a outsized equal weight to the bottom. So yeah, I don't know if that'll reflect until everything moves, but for now, bonds are moving on that. No. Are you kidding me? It's here! Oh, Bradley, Frizzle, and the Peach. You know, you get that in real time. They don't feel me, bro. They don't feel me. Bradley! Happy Holla Peach, happy Thanksgiving Peach, and Merry Peachmas. Or not. Okay, now I'm gonna go get the bells, bro. Fuck all this. Bradley, you inspired me. I need to go get the bells. You know that? I need to go get the bells. But yeah, I'm gonna finish the thought, though, guys. Just slow and steady, not sexy. You will get what you want. Do not, I'm telling you. They're like, go take crazy risk to get 10x your money, bro. You're going to 10x your money in a couple years if you go nice and slow and protect yourself, okay? So just, that's all it is, man. You're the one who lives with the consequences, not Josh, not the Reddit post, not the Twitter post, not the Peach even, not the Peach. It's you. So make wise decisions and stick with it. You're going to get it, baby. Use your mind. Amen. All right, man. So SPY going down a little bit. That data was a little weaker. Treasury yields decline, and I am gonna go get. I'm getting the bells
in the month of September.
I'm getting the bells.
But again, it does suggest contraction, and of course, any information we get on the labor market these days gets absorbed pretty quickly by the markets. Imports 45.4 up from 44.7. We're obviously watching that to see if companies are trying to bring in more stuff, and I guess they're bringing in a little more stuff, but we don't know what the price situation is on that. We're not getting import prices these days. So overall, kind of a mixed report, but still not good for the overall manufacturing economy. There was hope we saw a little bit of a rebound in October, but according to the ISM, we didn't.
And maybe for that reason, you are seeing yields come in. Some of the higher push in yields is starting to drop, though we are still down on the day. Michael, how much more important is this data, just given the fog that we are in the words
purple haze, as Amanda Gotti
I
said.
don't think Chair Powell called it a purple haze.
No, that's Amanda Gotti of PNC says the purple haze of policy, which I love.
But Powell called it a fog, hence why I'm calling it a fog.
But it's fair, he wears a purple tie all the time. So, I mean, when you go back to what he said at his news conference, they have enough information to get a pretty good picture of where the economy is, and this will feed into that. And the important thing is, he noted that if there's a turning point, they'll be able to pick it up. And this is not turning point kind of changes. It just shows you that things are still kind of chugging along at about where they were before the government shut down.
Yeah, just like the 2-year yield before we got this data, just right back where it was. Michael McKee, thanks so much for joining us. Let's talk now with Sitara Sundar, JP Morgan Private Bank Head of Alternative Investment Strategy. And Sitara, it's great to have you on as we, try and decipher what's going on with an economy that looks so strong, right? And these cockroaches that are scurrying around on the kitchen floor. What do you think about the state of credit as we see a blow up here, a blow up there, and prepare for more and more defaults?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's the number one question that we're thinking about outside of what's happening with deal making in private equity is what's going on within broader credit markets and what that means for private credit. Holistically, the way we think about it is segmenting it into 2 different risks. One are the select idiosyncratic defaults that we're seeing within the credit market now, emblematic of a systemic problem. And then 2, what is our outlook for private credit moving forward in a period of time where defaults might be rising while base rates are falling? On the first part, holistically, we do believe that while private credit has grown meaningfully, the whole assets under management within that market has grown at about a 14.5% annualized rate over the past 10 years. That's meaningfully more than what we've seen in corporate borrowing holistically. But we do not believe that the growth that we've seen within private credit markets is detrimental to the economy and posing of a systemic risk. Actually, if you look at private credit AUM, it is still only 9% of all corporate borrowing, so we still feel comfortable with that. 2, what we do believe, though, is with any situation in which you see capital flooding into a market, what you will likely see is there are going to be pockets of idiosyncratic risks that will bubble up, and we wouldn't be surprised to see defaults increase a bit within the market. We're actually projecting about a 2.5% default rate within broad private credit over the next 10 years. But that just means that manager selection is extremely important.
But to be clear,
yes,
capital is still flooding into private assets, including private credit.
And it is. Like, overall, holistically, we are still seeing growth in capital within private credit, but within private equity.
I know, bro. I love it.
The flip side of that is that warranted? And we believe yes, because the opportunity in private markets.
If y'all thought I was annoying before, imagine daylight
saving.
saving.
Talk ad nauseum.
I was fucking getting annoying at like 3 a.m., bro.
When you think about the growth potential within artificial intelligence, increasingly we believe that private.
Oh, I love it, bro. I love it. Fed Goolsby comments, golden path for economy is still possible. I am uneasy with front-loading rate cuts. Meta a little bit. Because, again, Meta didn't move too much from, oh my gosh, Conagra on the high. It's amazing. Oh, I love it, dude. I love it. Big fan of the holidays. And then, yeah, bonds tweaking off that data a little bit. And then Staples, I don't know, man. If the manufacturing stuff's good, it's very good to see Staples going up, actually. Very odd, though, because Philip Morris was dumping and then MO's going up. And remember, I did not like MO's earnings. I am surprised, man. I don't know. We've held MO for a long time, but usually they would go down on earnings like that, bro. So I'm very surprised the way it's actually held. Do you guys, again, smokeless tobacco dropped 26%. You guys remember how we kept talking about how that was such a big segment for them? That fell last time, or this literally a couple days ago off the earnings. Yeah, Meta's starting to break. A lot of Meta premiums are cheap. I moved a lot of them around, so I'm not the biggest fan of them with kind of how it played, but they got crushed. So think about how the other stuff played out.
Santa Claus is coming to town. He knows if you bought long term. He knows if you trade options. He knows if you save 10%. So be good, for goodness sake. Hey, what's stock next, Joshy? I already don't like you. I'm banning you. So yeah, you have a new YouTube account too. So come correct, brother. I don't care. Stop buying the membership. Y'all need to just be normal, and I will respect you. If not, I will stomp it out. It's very simple. I love America. Woo! I know I love daylight savings. It's kind of weird though. Like I was a little bit tired in an odd way. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because right now it's 10 a.m. Eastern, but like it's really 11. Okay, Meta is still going. Again, he had a nice little pickup there in a couple, and then even Bloom Energy. I think we're moving around a little. SPY's about to go red. Let's see the equal weight. You had too much energy. I had it. It's just the sun was out and shit, dude. It's very odd. Yeah, equal weight's holding up. Now it's the SPY, but 3/4. NASDAQ gave up another quarter of it or so, which I just think was Nvidia and Amazon not really moving. Yeah, they gave it up. I'm glad. See, that's what I was telling you with the premiums, though. That those premiums are hot right there. That's why I took them, but literally it just leveled out. So that is the only worry until it goes up. Like I'm saying, will you guys be prepared? If you get a melt up and it's slower than what we've seen in the last couple weeks, you need to understand how that's going to change some of the premiums and the offering. Dio, that's alcohol. Again, some of the value names are going up. They're running insane deals on. It's doing terrible. That's what I'm saying. That's what got us, I think, to $60 a share. I'm telling you, smokeless. You guys heard me talking about it before they got hot, then as it got hot, but that was the last thing I expected to see. I don't know if is it the government, is it the shutdown? Like, what the fuck affected that? I know Philip Morris and Zinn started to decline, but yeah, dude, 26% is that's not small. Google went red. Euro closes at 8:30 now that we have daylight. Last week it was like an hour behind. They shifted ahead of us. Hey, you man, all right, jump. Someone who uses the products on is terrible compared to Zinn. I think it's a preference. I've heard both, and then someone will be like, I'd like this random one. But I think I'm looking at the trend of all of them, but I do know, like, on itself, that was a very big decline. Check out Greece. I might not even leave anywhere. I don't know what I'm going to do, but yeah, I've been doing this for the last 2 years. I think I was leaving the second week of December? So I might stay a little longer. I don't know, but that was something I tried in the last 2 years and I enjoyed it, where I would just kind of chill for 2 weeks. And then, or I might leave second week of December and then I'll even take off the first week of January. Because when you come back, it's hella slow. You guys remember, everybody on Wall Street, they don't come back till later. Any particular bond market signals? Just what we talked about a couple days ago. That's why I think a lot of last week's videos, you should go and check them out. But the whole idea of bond, and a lot of people are talking about it this morning, I actually heard it, but bond volatility. And it's either someone's going to catch up to bond volatility or you're going to get bond volatility. But for now, the bond volatility is low. Yeah, you have several Fed speakers today. I'm so glad we have a deposit. I need to see the other one. Snap will say something about the government shutdown. I know, they're gonna warn. I know. It's pretty funny. You better watch out. You better long term. I'm sure we're gonna be able to do those songs for a month. I'll try to chill. I'll try. Japan is cheap. China. Yeah, China again. They barely move, but I would keep your eyes on there. That's gonna be a good one. But then again, premium. If at least China though hasn't moved in a while, so if that does start picking up, those premiums will. But the stuff that's already moved a lot, you do gotta kind of balance it out, or at least be aware of it. BTI, bros. So yeah, British Americans now going up. Maybe they had earnings, because look, Emo's tweaking, and then Philip Morris, they were the only one that went down, but it might go up. Any stocks on the radar for the long term? Chipotle, Sweet Greens, and Tap. Target, we'll find out with the earnings. That's another one. UPS, they're a little higher now, but I would say those other ones are the main ones. Hims on the way down. Damn, they were up 4%, I think. That thing's hella volatile now. Can you ask if people donate homeless vets blankets through your organization? I think you already asked, brother. But yeah, I don't like doing all that. We have our own charities and other stuff, but I feel like opening that door, I don't trust you guys, so no. But you already asked, so yeah, that's why I read it. So you guys got to watch yesterday's Philo, or Friday. I don't know if it's still up. Should be. But I want homeless veterans to get houses. That's something we need to advocate for, but yeah, I still don't like the charities running through here. You guys have referred me to charities, and if you could send them to me, and if I feel like I want to donate, I will. But I don't really tell people. BTU, that's cool. Yeah. I like Elf, but I think we talked a little bit about the valuation. It's kind of weird because I think, Cody? I think Cody is around the same size. So they're at break even for the year, and it's going to be very volatile for China. I think in the lower range, I could justify it. Anywhere up here, I would. That's up to you, but it does not meet criteria. And I think, again, keep in mind next year. That is something you guys want to really look into, because think about it. Just how we got into this year, there was going to be some major themes. You're either going to watch continuations of some of the themes you've seen this year, or you're going to watch that reversal. So I would definitely keep your eye out for that. And that's why it's like some of these plays, they're either those are going to be the ones that reverse, or they're going to kind of do exactly what they did this year. So you have to be ready for that. That means all of our consumer stocks could still get clobbered for another year. Otherwise, if not, I think they're going to have a good year next year. But it just all depends on how the tax bill comes in, how all of that comes in, and even whether or not we have a shutdown. So I don't know if you guys are aware. Oh, and good news, I got more Airbnb bookings over the weekend. So I was getting a little nervous, but then a couple came in. Maybe I was just early. But the thing is, you guys know, I told you guys this not too long ago, but do you realize the government shutdown theoretically can go into 2027? I know that sounds ridiculous, but this is the time where your government shutdown is not tied to the debt ceiling. The debt ceiling, they have already pretty much approved till, they've approved it till 2027. So that means you don't run out of money. There's no they're not paying the money, but they don't technically run out till 2027. So usually these situations with the government shutdown, debt ceiling, you would be running into the ceiling, so then it would become much more challenging. But that's what I was telling you. Theoretically, you could theoretically take this shutdown to 2 years if you really wanted to, which is kind of wild to think about. Okay, SPY is going down. Let's see. So SPY is now red, Russell down 0.8, Dow down 0.5, and then NASDAQ up by 0.4. Your TOS not working? It'd be a nice day for AWS problems. Oh, shit, dude. All right, I don't know. Let me update this. But Dow, 6 names in the green, 24 in the red. NASDAQ, 34 green, 66 in the red. And then SPY, is this real? Yeah, 88 in the red. And like 420-ish, 412-ish in the green. So yeah, you have literally 400 names on the red on the SPY. That's crazy. The NASDAQ's even in the green right there. But pretty much, once again, market breadth, everything's selling off. Yeah, it's there. Yeah, bro, they wrecked those fucking Amazons. I'm glad though. Well, dude, there was a lot, just like Friday. I'm telling you, this is what the vibe was last weekend. It was after the NVIDIA event. I don't think it's bad, but I do think we're going to get a different type of melt up until we get something to kick us into gear. So there's a couple of things at play, but that's why I'm just like, if your stock goes up, that doesn't mean the premium will. You need to remember that. And that's why I just pay attention, and you could adjust. It doesn't mean, that's why I want to find out what's going to be more viable, but you can adjust it. It doesn't mean that you don't have to do an option, but be ready if that won't be an option, essentially. So, yeah, because there's going to be buybacks. There's going to be things that'll get you melting up. But now the breadth is terrible. We got disappointed by not getting too much hype after a lot of hype. And then, you know, you'll see where it leads. So I would just keep all of those things in mind. And then everything else that you have been prepared to coming into this. Yes, velocity indeed. And that, it's changing. Okay, more staples are on the way up, but it's very, very random. Some are down, some are up. But remember, there's not that many names in the green. UNH is down 3. Starbucks, I'd have to look at it, but I like it in like the low 80s, yeah, or 70s, wherever that one drop was. Yeah, so it's getting there. I mean, you've gone through I'm glad that they washed out the fucking Chipotle premium. But yeah, maybe in the lower 70s, mid 70s. It all, again, depends on whatever else you have in your portfolio. I don't think it's a bad pick, but I like the other ones a little bit more. For now, at least. Well, yeah, a lot of people, TSA down to like mailmen, all that. They're not getting paid. They get back pay, but it is still pretty shitty for them. I think when we get out of it, though, that's going to be kind of the issue. But I don't know. Be ready. Potentially, you could go for 2 years, which is an insane thing to think about. That's what I was telling you guys a couple weeks ago. All right, yeah, even the NVIDIAs are chilling out. IWM's down 1%. Again, it's pretty bad, dude. It's only 80 names in the green today. At least on the SPY, you got like 30 on the NASDAQ. Again, a couple of these staples are going up. China is starting to knife a little bit. Yeah, they were holding up. Be good for goodness sake. Who was the other one? Philip Morris on the high now? Are? The mailmen are still paid? Are you sure? I thought they weren't getting money. Well, that's good. I was under the impression that USPS was part of that. Yeah, Philip Morris, that was a nice little red to green, so they all went up. Intel, it did come down. I think 37, that's where some people thought it'd be the floor around earnings, but hey, We will find out, brethren. We will find out. Iran's starting to sell now. So again, once again, you wake up in the morning, these premiums, you had like 5 minutes, and then that was it. So yeah, even the ones with the deals, and then yeah, literally every deal, even the government deal, all of them, they all kind of just faded. Again, it sounds exciting in the morning, but I don't know. I think we're at an interesting stage of, it's still going to be exciting, just slower. And it's earnings too. Don't forget, you still have 130 something names. Yeah, Google's starting to go up, but you have like 138 names, I think, this week. And then a lot of buybacks are turning on, and then after that, then you'll start to get a little bit more. Your friend is a mail carrier. He's getting it. Brother and wife work for USPS. They get paid. Nice. All right, then. That's good. Because I was like, dude, no way they're not. That one, because they're going out every day. But so is TSA. So are all of them. It's very, very bad. That's why I'm very surprised that, you know, the sticking point of this deal is very interesting. It's like, because remember, you already had approval of the bill. So the whole idea of the healthcare and all that, they approved it with the BBB, but they're kind of fighting over it now. It's already been approved. So that's the odd part. Oh, and then the redistricting. Don't even get me started. But yeah, you have a big week this week. Wednesday, you have the Donald Trump IEEPA case. That's going to be like 60% of the tariffs or so. And then there's one more. Which one was it? Oh, the elections. New York, Virginia, and I think and then the Proposition 50. That's all happening now. Yeah, all of the China, Babas, K-Webs, they came down right there. They just got knocked out of nowhere. So again, everything, they didn't even move though. They didn't have the hype in the morning, and then the ones with the hype all, whoop, faded. All right, still going down. Everything red now except NASDAQ, you're probably just getting held up by that 5% Amazon from the morning. I don't know if it's 5% now, but you get the idea. So it'll be good for goodness sake. Hey! Netflix slowed down. Yeah, China candle's getting a little bigger. Yeah, Netflix coming down. The premiums are kind of holding though. Dude, I saw a mailman out late last night too. PayPal on the loan. They're crushing preems. I think so too. But then again, I think the velocity is going to change. So that's what I was saying on Friday. I mean, you guys, I think were surprised, but I just said I'm getting rid of all of it. I said I could tell. And even this morning, I'm glad because I had those Amazons. But even if you made those Amazons free, I mean, you just, yeah, they're not even up that much anymore. Google and Waymo, San Diego. I love Waymo. I was just talking about that. I'm a big dude. The Waymo, that was a life-changing experience. You know that? The Waymo that brought me closer to AGI. Truly, truly transformational. All right, VIX on the high now. You better watch out. You better long term. Yeah, a lot of inverse ETFs. NASDAQ might go red now, but you're dumping on the equal way. So remember, there's a couple of staples that caught a bid here, but yeah, you are taking another stick down. 1% down on the equal weight, 1-2 on the Russell. So this idea of a very narrow rally, I mean, if you get those couple of tech names coming down, then it'll just be bad. But yeah, very, very narrow. Damn, you hit 6,800 though? So yeah, we were at 6,900 last week, but you're still playing this. We're like, this downside, it's odd because you've had a couple of big tech names rip, but now you're doing this. Again, for last week was the most narrowest one in 35 years. A Waymo ran over and killed a neighborhood-loved bodega cat in Brooklyn? Oh my gosh. I did not hear about this Waymo violence. What? upside versus down on Pfizer. I mean, if you're going to buy it for long term, I would either buy ahead of earnings or scale in slightly or just wait till you get the result. That's what I'd say. Otherwise, you should use the pricing in and go from that. What's ZSL? And then Google, and then biotechs too. They got knocked a little bit as well. Remember, that was another thing holding you up. But look, you got Google, Tesla, a couple of the names, and everything else is whoop. You tried the Waymo in Austin. It's really cool, man. Just, again, interaction with the real world, the AI, all of it, bro. I loved it. I was scared of that little demon car, but it was pretty cool to see. Do we get our 3% day? I mean, maybe. You would need the big tech to crumble. But then I don't know if, like, something would have to happen. We don't have, like, the event. And remember, there is a lot of corporate buybacks about to turn on. But if this week goes bad or if the IEPA stuff turns bad, maybe that could be your catalyst. But yeah, isn't that crazy? We still have not had that 3% down day. It's been one of the longest records since. You've been building your portfolio for a year. How do you know if I'm doing good? I mean, what's the goal? So, but I think a year is not that much time. I don't know how you view it, but yeah, the idea is to just slowly grow your assets and have a plan and goal of what you're going to do with it, i.e. a house, a business, all of that, and then factor that in. But, you know, you could have a good year, a bad year. It's really about 10 years. Is what we are looking for with consistency, definite purpose. So do you have a definite purpose? Otherwise, you may drift or you may get turned off by some of the back and forth. For your birthday. Happy birthday. India Trade Ministry says EU negotiators in talks in New Delhi. And then SQQ on the high. So, dude, right off that morning. Well, I'm glad the one little shitty ones didn't work. But then I haven't moved anything to China. Where's the dollar? So, yeah, keep what we said this morning in mind. You know, if you get a surprise tightening of financial conditions, the dollars, people are talking about it. But then again, very difficult to play. All we need right now is a fucking AWS outage, no? Why are we selling off? Because they hate you? So, yeah, bro. I don't know. You guys remember me talking on Friday. Even this morning, I came out with it. I'm glad we had a couple of, like, good ones. You had a couple of good things if you were positioned prior or, like, you got saved on some Amazons. But other than that, I can't stress it enough. I think the premiums this is all just an elaborate premium crush. I don't know how to describe it other than that. And that's why, too, just get ready on the way up. Because if it goes up again, I don't think you're going to make that much money if you're too far out of the money. Because do you see how this is slightly moving everybody out of the money by a block? And then what's going to happen, even if you come right back up, you just burned about a week or two. And then before you know it, yeah, it's not going to be there. Arcade, yeah, dude, they had good earnings. Right? Look at him. My brother. Kind of looks like a China stock. A lot of China stocks are just stable on the 100-day. Big tech, all melted up, and then everything else is down. Johnson praying elections change stopgap talks this year. Yeah, that makes sense. That's why one of you just said that about waiting till after the elections, because depending on who wins, then that might start to change the narrative and people might start voting appropriately. So like if either Democrats or Republicans take some big losses in the midterms, one of them will be more incentivized to cave or not. We don't have a clear-cut China deal. Yes and no. I think I think it's some of the crowding and all of the narratives, not to mention, I mean, just realistically, nothing material has happened. And then don't forget, your boy Jay Powell was like, let me throw some uncertainty into shit I've randomly been uncertain about. Too much talk about look back options? No, there's not enough. I'm banning you. Fuck off. Yeah, we should talk about look back options. Thank you for inspiring me. So yeah, we have about, it's like what, 112 or something million, not including the big money chads. So it's a crazy amount if I mention the other side. They some of them said it's cool if I talk about it, but I don't really, it's good, man. You guys, the normal chads, without the everyday American, and not including the scammers, the banners, all that, you guys are doing amazing. But I really don't think Vlad's serious. Literally, he saw all that shit, and then he's like, entrepreneurship. It's a brokerage about What the fuck? That's not no broker. What do you mean? What entrepreneur came out of fucking Robinhood? The fuck are you saying? You're just robbing kids' seed capital. But don't get me started. But yeah, so I think everybody should look into look back options. And I don't know if any of you want to create a brokerage with look backs. I mean, yeah, we have a vicious amount of money that we could put towards it. Chad is very strong, not including any other business revenues or real estate. So, yeah, man, I would love to see it one day, and I hope you'll do it. Other activists in Kenview include Tom Capital, Third Point, and Starboard. Or you're getting something on Kenview right now, and all the other investors. What time is it? 7:30. We only been here for an hour. But yeah, I wanted to make a video over the weekend, but then it just reminded me of back in the day when I would do Robinhood's work for them. You remember when kids would get clapped and I'd have to make fucking tutorials and shit? So yeah, I was like, I don't know, man. I just don't think they're serious. So yeah, whoever wants to make one, bro, I think you'd get a lot of good support if it's good for the people. I gotta eat my ginger chew. Please hold.
Is a huge topic. We just had as I mentioned, our largest customers together. That is now one of the biggest concerns they have is accessing power. We really have built out a fulsome solution for our customers. We're a very large landlord. We try to access the grid for them, but it is becoming a challenge.
You're a gigantic landlord. 500 million square feet of space, right? 3,500.
It's 3,500 buildings, 8,000 customers. There's a lot, but our customers, whether you're a big landlord or a small one, you are still dealing with the same challenges. The one thing you talked on data centers, another area that we're seeing real growth is this reindustrialization of the country. You're seeing manufacturing. We've seen, over 200 announcements in the last 5 years, $500 billion of factories and starts. That provides another buoy towards our business. But again, there's an increasing need while there's diminishing new supply. We're not building enough warehouses going forward.
The thing that seems incredibly complicated to me, you're talking about how your customers are planning 7 to 10 years ahead.
NP on the law.
But that one will be a different administration, so who knows what the policy mix will be like? Who knows what immigration will look like then too? How difficult is it even to plan for the long term right now?
Yeah,
long term.
It's really hard. But when you think of these just
diversify, save 10%, go little by little, buy the shit that's down, you'll be fine. And that you know about. That's it. It's really easy. So, enough of that. JPM on the low. Low ticker is actually like fully maxed out almost right here. So you are near the low. Watch out. Remember what we did on Friday? Remember when the UVX started going a little bit crazy there? That was it. So you will see. But yeah, like I'm saying, the whole like premium thing right now is that think about this like slow meltdown, but like still elevated. That's just changing the standard deviation in a weird way. So that's what I'm saying. Like on the way up, if it starts to melt up over the next couple weeks as it should, with like everything else, it's not going to go up as much. Or like market could go up, but those premiums now just got washed. So that's what I was noticing on Friday because we had some really good moves to start and none of them hit. A couple of them were, and that's why I said, okay, I'm moving all of it, and then we'll reposition at another time. Your risk is going to be you miss out on something, but like Amazon, I'm glad I kept some of those because those were new, but you would have missed out on that. But everything else, I don't think you would have regretted it. Let alone, you know, you're still not, even the bubble shit, like AREC, where's like Sermal, all those other shits. Even AREC had a government contract this morning, but they're just not getting the same hype, especially after a lot of money moves into it. That crowding is real, you guys. I hope you understand. Tell me why. Well, I'll just support you if you make a brokerage. I don't want to make one. I don't want to do that shit. You know, you think I want to handle Josh, I did a brokerage. Answer me now. I'll be like, nope, I don't want to. So yeah, if you do it, we have a very large amount of money that would be willing to support you. So that'd be a cool thing. Spy calls? No. I'm banning you, but that's a good idea, maybe. Just, like I'm saying, I'm not really against certain options. You just got to be wise about how you're going to go about them. I banned him before he could say his other play. He kept bumping. Good for you, brother. Happy Monday. Merry Christmas. Bye, buddy. I hope you find your goals. Yeah, TOT did come back down. Remember Powell? Powell was your little fuckery last week, if you really think about it. Have I heard of the Oppenheimer omen? Dog, do you know what the fuck you're talking about? You mean the Hindenburg omen, I'd assume. But yeah, I've known about it for a while. I got a cool video on it from years ago. I think I still sounded prepubescent. But yeah, you've triggered that a couple times. But don't be fooled. It doesn't mean bad. It goes both ways, as I talked about every time. HGV. Trupanian. Okay, even fucking Microsoft came down. Even Amazon's up, but do you see how that killed the fucking premium? I'm telling you. I made it free, and those plays are up 3,000%. You got, like I'm saying, a couple hundred depending on where you bought. But then after that, boom, now they're all fucking down, even though you're getting this we're talking about a 1% difference in the move. So, yeah, this is all it's all fucking the premium. That's why I'm saying, even then, if it goes, you need a real fucking move to get something out of it. Auto Live is up 1.5. Oppenheimer, yeah, that sounds vicious. An activist investor? I mean, back in the day, they used to be so fucking dope. Like, you have no idea. Like, they were real, like, activist investors. Nowadays, it's just Karens with money is the best way to explain it. Just all depending on the purpose. But you haven't seen a real a real true activist campaign. You haven't seen it in a minute. But, like, back in the day, they used to, like, you know, big change, hostile takeover, shit like that. Now, just, yeah. We Ride, they had something. Now, Carvana as well. So, you're back to that low, right below VWAP. It's still all big tech, but just notice the speed, the velocity. It's going to be a fun week, though. I think you're going to get to see a lot of this. And then we'll see. And then one of these days, they're just going to turn it on. And then you're going to watch it go a little nuts. But I still think the premium will lag. Kenview's still pretty down if you think about it. But yeah, that Kimberly-Clark, when that dust settles, I would keep an eye on that. I can't type. Tell me why. No, the Hindenburg omen has triggered. It's triggered about 2 or 3 times in the last couple days, but it's not. It goes both ways. I think the last time I told you it, we ripped. Like I'm saying, I'm cool. You should be cool with either direction. You see what I'm saying? If you're viewing these signals and all that to, solidify a bias, I'd be very careful of that. All it means is you're getting a big pull apart and on a very big scale, but that usually implies volatility up or down. And then there's different performance on 1 month, 3 month, 6 month, 12 month, and then the next couple of years. So just keep all that in mind. You'll figure it out as we get there, but I would be cautious to assume it only guarantees one direction, which it's not a one-way street. It definitely goes both ways. NVO, I wanted a little lower. So yeah, that's on the list though. Tell me why. MSTR on the low. I bought my lantern today. All right, let's see if it's the setup. Yeah, it's almost been another hour, but yeah, you're only hour 15 from the morning. Still 30 names green on the Nasdaq. Nasdaq or Dow only has 6. SPY has 88 still. Very bad. I think the Hindenburg did trigger. Like, I think you're overthinking it. It's very simple. It's real volatility. That's it. Pull apart. So it's the same thing that's happening with bonds. So I wouldn't, like I'm saying, I would not overthink it. You'll see it when it's there, but you have to be prepared for both. That's it. The only people who are going to get crushed are the ones expecting only one way. One way up, one way down. That's where, again, just like the beginning of the year, certainty is going to fuck you up. Hi. I like Netflix. We're front running that one for they're still up too, even after all this, but you're front running the stock split, which I like. And even if you don't want to front run it, I still think it's been doing good. I feel like it's crazy because they didn't have the best releases this year, but they still did pretty well. And then I remember when we bought it, they had such good releases, but yeah, the stock didn't do as well. But for the most part, it's kind of its own little league. They hold up. They're not as vulnerable to certain economic effects. Tell me. Oh, Heli, that's another value play. That one, damn, 19? So that one actually went lower. Remember we saw this one at the 20s? So that one's like a really, I don't think it's the highest quality, but some decent value. Your body still wants push-ups. Isn't that weird? Bro, you're literally, it's 7:45. It should be 8. That's what's going to feel weird. You're going to think Philo starts early, but it won't. I never want to hear you say I saw my long term today. Let's see. Yeah, so last time, this is exactly what I'm saying. So are you ready for the last Hindenburg? This one's gonna fuck with you. This is exactly what I'm glad that we had a recent example. So literally the latest Hindenburg was right here. September 11th, 2024. Ironically, that's where you even had the final break that led to the big flush, and then that's where we went crazy after everything else. But yeah, so it triggered in September and July of 2024. So both of these were Hindenburg moments pretty much. But then the last one up until right here, you were kind of the same setup, just happening 2 months later. And then, yeah, but then you didn't have an election coming up. And then that one, it only went up. So 1 week, 2 week, 1 month, 3 months, 6 month, 1 year, it only went up. So it was the same idea, but that's what I'm saying. Just be cautious towards the direction. I do think a lot of, end of the year, you're going to have people finalize stuff. There's a lot of things that happen this year, and people are going to get ready for next year. A lot comes into play, too. And then, yeah, you're going to have all of this stuff start to play. So I would not be certain in a direction. You understand? I don't even think it'll go up. Like I'm saying, with some of these premiums, too, even seasonality, overcrowding, there's a lot of things in play. So just head on a swivel and be ready for both. Well, it is accurate. Understand what it is. It's highs and lows. Companies hitting highs by a certain percentage. Companies hitting lows. You're getting a pull apart. You don't have those big differences in asset prices and movements unless something is happening. You see what I'm saying? Why are all the value stocks at the floor? Why is there some names hitting fucking $5 trillion? That's creating a dynamic. That's volatility. You're having pull aparts. The dollar, the bonds, all these things. Even then, I would argue the bond market was front running this. The bond market was no volatility, but it was making a move. And that's pulling apart as well. So it's just the jaws. You guys know, we've looked at overlays between assets. Now just overall in the market, you got one set of stocks just running to the moon. The other set is at the bottom, and now it's doing it in a size that, it triggers these things, but it just implies volatility. You got to think about it. Those big names are either going to come down and the other ones come up, or the other ones are going to keep going down, and then the big ones can't fight it and will have to come down with it. Yeah, just a gigantic divergence, and just be aware of it. And I think you guys are aware of it, but like I'm saying, if you overthink it, or you were like, no, it has to go down, it has to go up, that's where you're going to get killed. Do you know what the Hindenburg is? I was fascinated when I learned about the Hindenburg as a kid. That's why I always loved this omen. You know that? I was like, no fucking way. They put fucking a blimp and then it got lit on fire. Like, come on, bro. Blimps are kind of dope. You know what I'm saying? They ain't fuck with blimps ever since, dog. I feel like they said, nah, we ain't. No. Hey, hydrogen. It blows you up. I know. You can't even recognize them. I know. Okay, Donald. Howard, get the blimp. I'd like to announce Trump blimps. We will be having these in all 50 states. Better than a railroad. A blimp. Who doesn't like blimps? I love a blimp. It's like a balloon. It's like a big balloon with wheels. And it flies. Wait, all balloons fly, but you can control it. The Trumpenberg. Oh, dude. Bro, I was showing my girl George W. Bush videos. And we came to the conclusion George W. Bush is like Donald Trump and Joe Biden mixed together. I do, because she did not understand the lore of George W. Bush. Because she started seeing the clips and I would show them to her. But then she kept seeing like crazier and crazier ones. And then I was like, yeah. And then, dude, like, he's the mix of both of them. It's kind of hilarious if you really look at it. Because, I think George W. Bush is, like, one of the worst presidents. But then, like, Joe Biden's pretty good at being the worst president, too. So, but, yeah, I don't know. I think they're tied, or I think Biden beats him by a little bit. Biden was a little bit more nefarious. But then, again, only terrible shit happened under W. Bush. Thank you. Exactly. Nah. Watch this drive. Airlines on the high. Oh, we're getting the VWAP. WAP. Is that a Cardi B song? Thank you. George W. Bush. George W. Bush. There's a difference. George Bush is his father. George W. is the junior. Megan the Stallion. Longhorns. Wait, is that what that means? I don't know. Here, Let's get some mortgage-backed securities. I love it. Thank you. Yeah, airlines a little bit. Cole's starting to get some volume. Like, I was trying to explain to my girlfriend how, like, everybody loved George Bush, even though he was terrible. Like, even Democrats wouldn't fight with him. Nobody did. He was just dumb. Like, he was liked by everybody, and he was so bad. I don't know how to explain it, but, like, he didn't cause problems, but he caused problems. Does that make sense? Like, everything he did led to a bad reaction, but then everybody was like, yeah. Like, there wasn't political fighting. People weren't disagreeing. Like, it was just so everybody, like, agreed to just be dumb with him. Or they were all just getting paid a fuck ton of money. But still. Fed Collins. I think, yeah, you got 2 or 3 more of them. You just had Goolsby. It probably really was Dick Cheney. And you know Dick Cheney has shot more people than your favorite rapper? I don't know who needs to hear this, but yeah, that's kind of gangster. But I'm being serious, though. He's literally shot and got off shooting more people than most rappers. I think you have no idea. He's like Ja Morant of the politics. I'm sorry, Ja. Ja had a bad weekend. Sounds like Bush and Jay-Z. Rock Nation. Come on, I can sing a song. What's the one? H-O to the V. I used to sell QPs. Is that what he says? Thank you. How do I get out of here? Long term. Thank you. Tessie's still up? Yeah, I did good. But not bad. So now you're chilling. Buki on the high. China. Yeah, we'll see though. If you get past VWAP or not, you're back to break even on the SPY. NASDAQ 0.4, Russell down by 1, and then the Dow by 0.5. Yeah, Equal Weight gave up that like third stick of the day to the downside, third knife. Excuse me. IMCR looks hella liquid. Sprouts, remember they got worked last week. I used to sell. I think George Bush was like I love George Bush, like his voice. Like that was one of the first presidents I feel like I learned how to do the voice. And then Obama, he came next. Now, I used to be better at this voice. It's changed. Good job. Thank you. They're killing the premium. I'm telling you, I saw it on Friday. I think you guys could see it. I mean, if you bought a premium last week and it's up, the stock had to fucking rip like a crazy amount, like IREN. If you were in it before and it moves 20%, you're getting paid. Even the Amazons today. But then, even then, if it stops intraday like Amazon, those all got murdered. So, we'll have to see. okay, you're balanced out a little bit more on the high-low ticker. You have a lot of room to go up if those 400 names go green, but if it's still the same setup, you might get molly-whopped. California tech jobs plunged below 2008 levels. Is that oil? Hold on, I can't tell if those are oil companies moving. Baba, QN, we released the early preview. An intermediate checkpoint still in training. Dude, that was even a couple weeks ago when they were talking about some of that stuff in the pricing. But yeah, and then oil's moving up. You got some Baba AI news. So sometimes the market ignores it. Sometimes they react big to it. So you never know. Just keep it on watch. I already had K-Web up. I used to save 10% by the OZ. Even back then, you could call me CEO of the LONGTERM. Okay, sorry. Dude, it's only 8 o'clock. Why does it feel like it's midnight? Fucking daylight savings. Crazy. The Halloween bank repos. I mean, again, there's money. Just they could still operate. It's not like, you know, the Treasury and other stuff. They still have ability to operate with the bank. So this whole like repo thing is not that big of a deal yet. And some of it's natural. It's not because of like anything with the shutdown. But right now, it's just that the end of quantitative tightening. That's what you got to really focus on. And leading into it, that's why they're doing the end of quantitative tightening. So think about it. That situation was occurring for months. And then now it's finally got to the point where even Powell's like, okay, December, we got to end it. So you should ask yourself why, who, what, when, where, why. Netflix on the low? Habibi! So yeah, breaking below 1100. I think now the premiums are getting clobbered. Remember, that was the only one that moved on Friday. Let's see. Is that it? Hold on. Oh no, they're still up. That's crazy. So yeah, those Netflixes that we front ran, they're still green, but they lost most of it. But you still got like 10 to 20% depending on your price. But those were up a lot. So yeah, that took 2% today, slowing down after all that to bring it down. Because that one shouldn't have gone up as much. That's what I'm saying. Most of the other names, you would have been dead. LPLA, Fortinet. Okay, you hit VWAP and still chilling. Not as bad. I mean, it looks good with a little bit of green. But then, yeah, equal weight and everything else still red. Down, all that. I like the 10 for 1 split. It's going to be cool for our long term. I mean, I think there'll be a nice little front run, but maybe we already had it. Other than that, I'm not buying anything afterwards. So if you think I'm changing my long term, I'm not. Toyota Hydrogen Tacoma can rescue dead EVs by sharing charge with EV. Hydrogen? The Hyundai Tacoma? KRE. I remember a couple banks were pretty fire in the morning. Yeah, banks aren't doing that bad. Footman emailed the high. We're getting a couple. That staple move was odd today too, and then even MO just hanging out. Fermi. I don't know what that one is. I just see the headline. And then IREM fade in. That sucked. But then again, you made the money on the all of them look like this, you guys. That's what I'm saying. It's just gapping up in the morning and then fucking dumping. And then even you only have a small window. It's not going to stay like this forever, but this is how I think it's all changing. Yeah, even the government contract one went back to open now. Womp, womp, womp. CEO of the long term. I don't lie, you're getting a couple of oil plays now moving or energy related. QURE, didn't they have something? And I don't think Baba moved. Oh, AMD too. You have AMD earnings tomorrow, I believe, or Wednesday. And then you have Palantir after the bell. What time is it? 8:03, so 20 minutes, 25 minutes till Euro close. Not bad. Q2. Ethereum getting clobbered again. We had a lot of crypto. Ugly. And it's just going to have a 4% day randomly and then do that again. That's what it's been doing. Yeah, so dude, this move is just even killing your premiums. Like I'm saying, because now if it goes up, you're going to get less. If it goes down, it's going to wash them, and then vice versa. It comes right back up. You're doing that. So I think we just got to work our way through this. There's still earnings this week. And I think once they're all done, that'll be a lot easier. But yeah, for now, it's still a little challenging. The ROC, whoa. I'm mad that that's stuck in my head now. Damn it. Well, hey, I think we usually get a lot of songs stuck in our head. It's a beautiful morning. Monday, dog, Monday. Yeah, I do agree. That's what I'm saying. Once we get through this, you are going to have your opportunity. And that's what I'm saying. If you get real volatility, that's why. Just keep your ammo. Make sure you don't get crushed on this, because then once the fucking gates open, that's going to be your move. Up or down, I don't know. Yeah, but, you know, you have your biases where some people are leading into stuff for the end of the year. That's why. Make it simple, but you don't want to... Everyone got excited, and I think a lot of people started trying to front run, and that just led to a lot of overcrowding. Carvana now on Akamai. Semiconductors. Oh, Melly didn't, dude. Or no, MDB, they ran up. See, this one is up 5% in the morning, too. They had like a new management, new CFO and all that, and then just faded. So usually you're going to have to, at this rate, you're going to have to plant on the day before it moves. You're not going to get the same momentum, but we do just got to get out of this little box and then see. The first future you bought was a winner. That's good, man. I'm glad that you won, but you lost your membership. So we don't care. You can't post those plays, man. I think most of you are getting it, though. A lot of it just looks pumpy at this point. So I'm sad some of you adopted the pumping culture, but you know, I don't think I love you, but I do think people will learn eventually. But yeah, just be careful. I think you guys see it though now. Like I'm saying, it's a lot of people try to bring attention to a lot of plays, but I want you guys to make money. I just don't think you should call them out like that anymore. And then, because again, I think 90% of the time people were doing it for other reasons. So, but hey, what matters most to you? Making the money or talking about it? You tell me. When I said the market was rigged, but it doesn't mean you can't make money off it. Amen. It is. I mean, you got to figure out. I mean, it's rigged to go up too. That's the best part. In the long run, I love the long term. Rare earths, does that mean U.S. plays will wind down? No, I don't know. I think the China play, you have like a 1-year delay, but I think there's more to China. But we talked about it this morning with where China stands in terms of rally and everything else. I don't think you only need that deal, but I think in an odd way, it's just not as sexy, but then you still have something to look forward to because it wasn't that big. However, everything in the last week or two was just borderline mediocre and disappointing in terms of what it could have been. There was a stock called Pump that had news today. That thing's actually still up, yeah. And then there's oil. I was saying, check that a second ago. That's starting to move. Couple real estate stocks. You're at the VWAP. Ally, that's been melting up. Like I said, a couple of financials and banks are doing good. Yeah, dude, bond yields have came down recently. I mean, you did get a rate cut. The long end popped up a little bit so far, but generally, you know, as we came into this last rate meeting or Fed meeting, you know, the bonds did kind of catch a bid. But then that's my theory of I really think Scott Bessent is controlling it. He's just smart man. I don't know, man. I really like Bessent as treasurer. Yeah, Ally, that candle's getting a little bigger. It lagged for a second, but I don't know if they're going to get anything. Well, people are changing their tone on the job stuff. You know, people are freaking out and they're saying all this other stuff and jobs and AI, but some people are saying it's kind of winding down to appropriate size rather than dumping everybody. That's what they said this morning, at least. So take that however you please. I mean, Bessent compared to Yellen is crazy, bro. It's a world's difference. Yellen was like a politician, you know, but like Bessent is like pulling off like crazy shit. Like Bessent is making moves. That's the real difference. Where I mean, Yellen made moves that were just kind of against you, but I don't know how to describe it other than that. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's literally Yellen went to China and did mushrooms. That's a true story. I believe I've never even done that in my life. Most of you never have done that. And then she negotiated like a crazy tax deal. Meanwhile, Bessent's like negotiating rare earths and then making sure that happens and controlling the yield curve. Like, not only did Yellen not help control like the bonds, she also caused like the way she termed out the debt and did all that shit, bro, is terrible. You guys didn't know that? I think that's why Uncle in that one Uncle song, he says, "I don't gotta ask. I know the drugs that Yellen on." Talking about me, but you the one you telling on. Mad and jealous, dog. Tell me what you settle on. They asking me which God. The only one you hating on. Yeah, no, Yellen like made it worse. Yeah, not only did she like not like maintain her yard, she was like throwing fucking dog shit in it the whole time. But that's why, I mean, again, I was excited for Yellen because she has like history behind her and like people like her, but like I know why they like her now. She gives them whatever they want. But yeah, I know. But Bessent, I'm very impressed by that man and what he's done so far. That's why I said it. I tweeted him. I said, bitch, if Bessent turns into a dog shit, man, I'll be so disappointed if Bessent ends up selling everybody out. Because that could always happen. That's why I was like, man, just don't sell us out, Bessent. I like you, man. I like you. All right, man. 15 minutes till push-ups. No, I don't. Not with Bessent. You're wrong on Bessent, brother. Now I have to ban you for it. I don't bet Bessent was not buddies with Epstein. And why didn't, and you guys, like, you don't think it's weird that when it was under, you guys know Bessent, or excuse me, you know Epstein was under Biden too? How come none of y'all said shit? Why do you only care about it now? But Bessent was buddies with George Soros. That's what you meant to say. So, but your incorrect statement and blindedness of the political propaganda has resulted in your $49.99 a month ban. Futu got clobbered. I know. Good thing we cashed out on Friday. Dude, I'm glad I cashed out on a lot of it. I remember I told you guys and you were I said just assume I sold fucking everything. I kept like the Amazon and like 2 more. But yeah, that was it. Soros is pretty bad. It depends on how you look at it. But then again, like I told this last time I said this, the fucking conservatives flipped on me. Because I was like, dude, my whole life in a weird way, like as I got into like financial and like monetary policy shit and like understanding money, I looked up to Soros. I really did. Now, you know, I got to grow older and, you know, you guys understand where my morality and other things are at. But yeah, like I think he's an evil man and like I think he funds a lot of crazy shit nowadays. But like Soros, like pre-2000, bro, what the shit he accomplished and like that guy knew money. He understood it. And that's like, I don't know, I can't not respect that. So I said that I used to look up to him in that way, and I still kind of do, where I think one of these days we're gonna get our Soros moment to break the bank. But until then, yeah, we'll see. But that's why I hope you don't fucking do. Well, no, I think he was corrupted from day one. Do you understand? Do you know his story? Homeboy like sold his whole entire family out. You have no idea. That's why like some people like the McDonald's dude and Soros, even like fucking Hillary Clinton and all these other politicians, bro, who just they discourage me sometimes because I'm like, yeah, I don't think I'm that cold-hearted to get to that billion like some of these people. But then again, it's like, you know, I think we could do it in a nice way. But then also too, you have the only duty to your highest self. But that's why I think there's more important things than money. I just want the Father, brother. The Father. That's the only one you should answer to. Amen. But yeah, no, he has a crazy story, Mr. Soros. I mean, but the fucking guy, he's already like dead if you, I don't know if you've seen him lately. That's why it's odd with what he does. But like, have you ever heard him talk recently? It's very bad. Besant is openly gay. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Well, that's an interesting statement, but I think a lot of the groypers are in the closet still. They just don't admit it. But yeah, like I said, if you understand money though and you do a good job, I mean, by all means, man, fuck whatever you want to fuck. That's up to you, man. But I hope you find the Lord one day. He is waiting for all of us. I mean, shit. Okay, you're waking up a little bit. Hi! That's a third candle above the VWAP. Yeah, these two. And then that. Let's see if anything changed. Yeah, except for robots. That's just, I don't know. That one's just odd. And then NASDAQ, 35 still. No, it hasn't changed. You got double on the SPY. So SPY's double the amount the names that are green. Now you're at like 150 from 80. You're right below double. Sacramento. I think we have an agent in Sacramento. I don't know though. I think we have someone near there. So you could email and I could refer it, or just tell them to just don't overpay for a house right now. Then you'll be good. That's what I'm saying. Just don't, you know, if you're his father, you know, guide him through the emotional process of buying a home. That's what I try to help the Chads with, because, you know, especially if you're going to live in the home, it gets really exciting. It gets really exciting when you know you could get the money. It gets exciting when you know you start shopping and then you'll find a house you like. So you got to balance emotions versus price, depending on what your priority is. You know, if you need to live in an area, you need to do certain things, that changes it. But at the same time, I mean, equity and equity building is very important. And what price you get it at will help with that a lot. Yeah, Amazon got a price target increase. Reddit and SMR on the low. Novo, Pfizer is fundamentally wrong about competitive dynamics. We are confident this transaction does not raise any antitrust issues. Our two stocks are fighting with each other. And then, yeah, and if you guys got banned, you broke the rules. So please do not email, because then I have to block your email too. So yeah, if you can't figure out why you got banned, there's no room for improvement. But it's not my responsibility. So unfortunately, you could keep listening, but I would just move on. It'll be better for you. We have the rules, I think you guys got them really good this year. You know what I'm saying? You did very, very good in I think understanding them. Those of you that did. But other than that, I mean, just same rules, more aggressive enforcement. EWC Tesla says Canada launching a mechanism dispute with Stellantis. Email, I think we do have one, yeah. So email tradingfraternity@gmail.com and I'll reference it. And like I'm saying, I like to look over the deals because I'm telling you, people have found good houses, but then they'll just get emotional. So it all depends on the goals. You have to align the goals. Like if the goal is I need to live here to work here, this is where my job is, I need a house right now, that's different than, let's make sure we build some equity. But even then, I think in both scenarios, being wise, you could make sure you at least prevent any negative equity or get a nice little 5-10% in your favor. And on a huge amount like a house, that goes a long way. Alrighty, you're back up to the first opening, not like the opening candle, but the opening drop. And then bonds are just in la la land comparatively. But if they could go up too, we might start to. Where's dollar? Oh, the buy, you've done that? That's really good, yeah. That's the hack. Bi-weekly payments with the extra $100 in principal. It'll save you like 5 to 7 years of your interest payments for just an extra $100. It's pretty crazy. And then it depends how big your mortgage is. Because, if you have a smaller mortgage, that $100 really goes a long way. We should explain that again today. I'm down to recover that. I feel like we talked about that a couple years ago. That's one of my favorite real estate hacks. You know that? And because it's something everybody could do. And it's a good way to apply extra savings. And then it really has a good effect. Especially if you don't like going over, especially if you get bothered by the interest. I don't think you should, and how it amortizes, but this is a good little trick. Yeah, we'll go over it a little bit later, maybe before Philo. How does voting during a shutdown work? Like elections? I don't know. Now that I think about it, I'm assuming it's gonna be the same, and they'll have agencies and other people conduct them. But yeah, I don't know really. I'm sure it might bring some issues. The thing people have been focused on is that after the shutdown, it's going to pretty much cause what's it called? After depending on the results, that's going to pressure one side or the other to react. Wait, do I have to register in California? I need to vote no on Prop 50. But yeah. Because I don't know. I got more involved in the presidential one. But yeah. Then I started. But this one, dude, a lot of people don't know, bro. The redistricting shit, I hate it because it's nobody gives a fuck already. And we're all kind of dumb with this shit. And then you have these weirdos in fucking office. Even Texas, too. I think Texas, I don't approve of it as well. All of them, and because they're all just gonna fuck it up, man. And people don't realize it, especially Californians. If you're a California, if you've been here your whole life, bro, I don't know do you remember Prop 11? Most people don't remember this shit. And ever since 2008, bro, you saw wicked changes. After Prop 11, it was 20 grand, and those who couldn't pay the 20, it led to a 20% margin of Democratic wins from there. And then that's what kind of kicked open the gate. But it's funny because you even had people like Pelosi and shit who used to oppose this heavily. It's all fucked up, dude. It's really, really fucked up because now no one cares. You guys care more about AI and all that. And then now it's I saw the map that they want to do in Virginia. It literally gives all the districts to everywhere except one place. But then again, you are supposed to have these for the census, and you're supposed to have representing. You don't want one vote to have more or less, sway, but Yeah, dude, it's kind of fucked. I think they're getting really complicated, and they're spending a fuck ton of money to do it. Oh, by Dunius. You did the $100 principal for 6-7 years, got me to where your payment is on principal. That's the, I know, bro. The crazy part is, like, if you did start doing this, you know, a few years ago when you learned, bro, you should be getting an effect by now. I'm eating a ginger candy. I muted it. I don't want to abuse your ears. Yeah, Netflix dumping now. I think all the premiums are coming back. No, they're break even a little bit higher depending on where. So there's a nice little spread on it. The bid is pretty much, it's like a 20-25% spread, and then the bid is where some of the entries are. But then it's down 3.5 now. Remember on Friday, bro, it did very good comparatively, but these are that's what I'm saying, bro. The preem. Now it's moving you from the move. It's been a long day with the long term, my friend. EXEL, Death Blow. It looks like. No, what the fuck was that? That's fake. Hold on. It had a candle like that earlier. It just printed $1 lower, and now it's going higher. There might be news on that. I woke up pretty poopy this morning, a little bit, but I was adjusting nicely, I think. Close the earnings gap on Nike. Yeah, I'd put that on the list, bro. If you could get back into the 50s. Oh, it's at 60 though. And then Netflix is dumping now. I think some of that front run premium is starting to weigh. I think the people are regretting it now, or depending on where you purchased. Without you, my friend. Daylight sharding time? Oh my goodness. Toyota October sales up 11.8. Oh, yo, bro. And it's time for push-ups. Do you like push-ups? I like push-ups. So, Chad, your first push-ups of November. Stand up and move around. Get the body moving. God bless America. And then we're going to have to get into some other stuff here later. You know, philo and other stuff right around the corner. So you might as well move. I'll do the wall stretch first, actually. So let me play this for you. I'm gonna move.
Natural fit for data center companies. So we've seen Microsoft, we've seen Oracle want to expand their presence out there. And today is kind of the latest example of Microsoft coming out to say, look at all the money we're spending. This is a serious bet for us.
And capital expenditure that they did articulate in their earnings just last week. But Microsoft's been perhaps more upfront than many as to how they're having to use other offerings, neoclouds in particular. They've been leaning on Nscale and Nebius over in Europe. But here in the US, they're going ever more into Texas, but with an Australian company.
Correct, yeah, we saw them ink about a $10 billion deal with an Australian company this morning, and it's funny because $10 billion sounds huge, but it's really like, what, 15% of what they've announced so far? I mean, the spending quantities here are really getting hard to fathom. Microsoft has committed around $60 billion to a variety of providers just to be able to rent these AI chips quicker.
And what's interesting is iRen is one of those sources of power and compute that all used to be in crypto. And another one of those that now suddenly finds itself the darling of an AI trade.
Exactly, yeah. CoreWeave's the classic example of this. You know, crypto market crashed, and all of a sudden they said, hey, wait a second, AI data centers is the way forward. And Microsoft's been the most kind of prominent customer of these neoclouds, but you know, we expect over time that every major hyperscaler looking for capacity is going to turn to these companies.
And when we think about the scale and the numbers, it can just become almost arbitrary. But I think the $3 trillion figure that Morgan Stanley's wrapped its head around is an important one, right? That 3 trillion of data centers are likely to be built out by 2028. But actually half of that's going to come from their own money. And then maybe the rest is coming from debt markets and the like. But Microsoft really does seem to be talking up how it's leaning on its own cash flows.
Correct, its own cash flows, but part of the neocloud stuff that's interesting is that they are leases, right? You are leasing. If you build a data center, you're stuck with it for a good 20 years, right? You lease for 5 years. If the demand environment changes at the end, you say, well, thank you, Nebius. It's been beautiful, right? So it gives them a lot more financial flexibility. And I think we should see that within the context of hyperscalers tapping unique financing sources, even like Google hitting the bond market today.
Oh, you lead us perfectly to our next segment. Brody Ford, we are as one. We so appreciate you as always. And meanwhile, he said it, Alphabet looking to raise about $15 billion from a dollar bond sale in the United States, according to sources. The deal is being offered in many as 8 parts, maturities ranging from 3 to 50 years. But the company's also tapping the European market, $7.5 billion of notes in Europe too. And this all adds to a wave of borrowing from tech companies. Remember Meta's $30 billion one last week. And it's all about investing aggressively in AI. And let's dig into the impact of all of this AI financing a little bit further. Anna Rathbun's with us, founder and CEO of Grenadilla Advisory. You think this is smart, the way in which that they're tapping debt markets or depending on their own cash flow?
Good morning. I do think it's smart. I mean, sometimes cash on hand is the most powerful thing. And so it doesn't make sense to spend all of your cash and put it into, you know, the future investment in AI. Sometimes it makes sense to borrow from the debt market and to finance it, and so that you have some leeway and some flexibility in what you want to do with the assets that you have.
And what about even more creative financing, such as these private credit deals and the way in which we see Blue Owl be Meta's partner of choice here? Is that what you're likely to see more of, not just ever more debt being tapped, but just off balance sheet?
Yeah, I think so. You know, private credit market is constantly looking for ways to deploy their capital that they're getting from the investors. And right now, the investment that seems the most exciting seems to be this data center and AI play. And if we heard from Microsoft and others last week during the earnings call, the demand is just out of this world, and they're having a hard time supplying that demand, and therefore I think you're going to see more of it. And by the way, people are worried about this off-balance sheet financing. In my opinion, it's dangerous if you don't know about it, but everyone knows about it. So you can definitely put that into your calculation for, you know, the valuations of these companies.
Okay, that's really interesting because in many ways, Meta has led the way in that creativity, and Meta got beaten up last week because of their capital expenditure and perhaps it coming in a more rapid clip than the revenue growth that we're seeing. And how do you make the discernment that's currently happening among the AI players?
Yeah, with regards to Meta, I think there were a lot of things that were idiosyncratic. I mean, if we were to think about the cap stack, if debt is issued, equity investors don't like it, right? But if you look at the debt market, a lot of investors in the debt market actually liked it, and there was a lot of demand for it. But there was also the deal about Meta not being a hyperscaler, investors wondering where all of the investments are going, and they're going to invest more of it. So that's Meta. But everyone else, I think there is a race here, and there's a bit of a FOMO in all of the AI players, and there's a higher risk to missing out than to spend today and to see where we are tomorrow, because I think the demand is still going to be high tomorrow.
But is that FOMO leaching into the investment community, and is that a good way in which to invest one's money?
Right. So here are a few things. I think people thinking about valuations, and that's myself included, it's very, very high compared to historical norms. It's nerve-wracking, but it's a short-term, sentiment-driven play. Beta is subject to a lot of noise, and it's going to happen. There may be a correction, or people are going to get nervous. However, if you're a long-term investor, like a lot of our clients are, you're going to take a look at the fundamental value add of these, data center build-outs and AI moves. And I do think that there is something there. If you look at the S&P 500 index and the companies in there, how many can actually do the AI play? How many of them have the expertise, the vision, the balance sheet capacity to do all of this? And they're just a few. And that's one of the reasons why investors...
All right. So yeah, I have a protein update. Some of you might appreciate this, but I think I'm going to stop drinking protein shakes. Are you ready? I discovered this. Have you heard of Icelandic skyr? It's kind of like yogurt, or any yogurt, but pretty much... Dude, I was looking at it, and it's like, if you eat 2 of these yogurts, this Icelandic skyr is still like 30-something grams of protein, and then it's this 200 calories. It's the same as a protein shake. That's why I was like, but then it just doesn't have shit in it. All it is just fucking milk, or like cultured bacteria, or whatever it is. And it tastes fire, but you just have to fucking eat them. I think it's a little bit more expensive, but dude, it's fire, and I love it. Yeah, the Siggies. No, it hits. I was very surprised. WTW. All right, you're working your way up. Making your way downtown. Trading fast and it's holding. Get a long term. Get a long term. All right. You had banana and strawberry? Nice. Good idea. All right, I'm still doing some shoulder workout. I got the lunges out the way. Dude, it's gonna suck, man. I want to see what it's like working out today. Cause yeah, man, you got to, usually with daylight savings, that's the thing that sucks. Cause by the time it's ready to go to the gym, it's like late. It feels late. You're going up though. It's the highest you've been since literally like 2 hours ago from the morning. You're getting a little bit off of that level. This was like the second drop, and then this was the first one. Yogurt shake. That's why the Chobani ones were good. But like just straight yogurt. I was surprised though when I looked at the damn like the nutrition of it, because it's hard to get that much protein with like low calories and all that. But then yeah, Siggies. It hit, bro. It hit. Everyone's been telling me about the Chobani lawsuit. That's why they're like, don't eat it. But yeah, there's alternatives. There's some good ones. One more stretch and we'll be good. Propaganda.
Refusal as part of its commercial restructuring, and that cleared the path for OpenAI to sign directly with Microsoft's biggest rival in the cloud wars. No permission needed. And with demand for compute only accelerating, OpenAI finally forging ties with the most dominant player in the cloud wars is a game changer for them going forward. Guys?
Mackenzie, pretty interesting. We played sound from that interview that Nadella and Altman gave to Brad Gerstner over the weekend. And I think Nadella in there talks about how that initial $1 billion investment kind of had some detractors internally.
Right, and so what we've seen here is this evolution in OpenAI's relationship with Microsoft. They did agree to $250 billion in Azure commitments last week as part of this restructure, but you really see OpenAI going toward this multi-cloud strategy to try to diversify their risk, but also they're just so hungry for compute. And what I will say, it's interesting, Bernstein did some back of the envelope math. Last quarter, OpenAI apparently lost $12 billion, kind of, backing out of that Microsoft quarterly report. They were able to get that math. But Sam Altman, in that same interview you mentioned, Carl, said that this is part of why he feels more of an impetus to go public, so that people stop doubting that they're capable of honoring all these compute deals, which are now north of $1.4 trillion.
Yes, believe me, the markets would love to see it happen. We'll watch the progress if they get there. Mac, thank you. Mackenzie Sagalos. Amazon, not the only.
Did you guys watch? Everyone was talking about it.
AI announcement today.
They asked.
Some breaking news out of Microsoft launching a multi-billion-dollar agreement with AI startup Lambda. With Lambda set to provide AI.
It was funny. I don't know, man. He's Sam Altman. I think he's gonna kill someone. I don't know, bro. He's kind of a gangster, bro. About to close on your first house. Want to say thank you, baby. Amen, man. I hope it was a good one, but with enough time, it will be, bro. So, amen. That's what I'm talking about. I like houses. That's the crazy part, man. Chad, even stocks alone, you guys are fucking doing amazing. Well, those of you who applied it, but even with houses, man, I think we got a really big portfolio of homes, and there's a lot of wealth in that. So very good, man. Very good. We love it. Do get a long term. Man, it's still kind of slow. A couple things went up, but yeah, man, you're gonna be playing this game for a little bit. AR on Teto. Again, Palantir earnings. Nvidia and Amazon, they're chilling. SoFi's getting some volume, kind of popping. You rented out your first home. Now you have a free house, God willing. I feel you, bro. That's dope. Isn't it nice to get a little cash flow? They at least paid the mortgage. And then you keep building. Keep building. We will build and build. Into the right. If I could just long term. Yeah, dude, it feels like we're about to do philo, but it's 8:45, not 9. Again, another candle on SoFi. A couple things are popping right now. Some small caps, some mid caps. You're selling your long term for 2 Youngstown, Ohio houses. Net cash flow 1K. That's nice. That's it, man. Just make sure that they're not like, watch for the smaller properties. Just make sure you don't have to fucking put an AC unit or a roof or anything of that, and you'll be good. And I like it. Can you email me about the Ohio deal? No. If it's already done and you're doing it, I mean, you've already moved. So, but I think it's good. Use the rules that I've taught you, and you'll be fine. And like I said, I like Ohio. I like cash flow. My thing is, that's what I'm saying. Just make sure there's not anything crazy with repairs, and you'll be fine. If I have a house and you're building for the next down payment, is the strat different when you have a house already? No, you just rinse and repeat. I mean, I had more than one house before I bought the farm. So generally, though, the idea is good deals. But your second house, though, make sure it's a good deal. Like I'm saying, if you already live in a house, you already have a home, like you don't, the emotions behind it should be a lot less. You should be viewing it as a pure equity investment. That's where I think you'll do good. Or if it's the second house is what you're gonna move into, and then the first house becomes the rental, that's fine too. But like I'm saying, you should really stress the equity. It should be a good deal. Like I've always told people, I wouldn't even pull out equity. Some people are like, should I pull out my equity? You only pull out fucking equity if it's a home run. If that's just someone's giving you a gift on that pricing. So, but yeah, it's the same exact thing. Congratulations. Wait, I keep forgetting the melody. What's that one? The one with fucking Post Malone? I always think that situations holding long, saving 10. Oh, you enemy. I don't know. Yeah, why do I go to the Usher melody, bro? Isn't there a Post Malone one? Now they only say congratulations. There you go. Thank you for that. I forgot. Amazon on the fucking low now. Microsoft, there's a Microsoft Lambda news, but I don't know why Amazon's dropping. They hate everybody. Well, I'm glad we took it off the fucking morning, but now the free contracts are just dead. They're down. They're still up, but they're down 60 comparatively. Remember I was telling you they were up 3,300% in the morning? That was like the peak. Now they're up only 900. Only, but still. How could I use your account as collateral instead of selling? Come talk to me. You know that? So if I'm going to tell you guys not to do dumb shit and you're going to do it, I'll just take your money. I'll give you the deal. Fuck it. I'll back your account. Give me your account if you want to do it instead of selling. If you want to go and give somebody else your assets for something you don't own and you want to risk all of your equity, come talk to me. I will fucking eat it. If you want to give it away to some random bank. Why not? Yeah, what's my interest rate? As high as they're going to fucking charge you. You think they're going to be your friend? I mean, I'm not looking to be friends with it. I'm just saying, you know the answer. This is not the stage where you want to do that. Because, dude, what happens if the market goes down, bro? You're going to get margin called on both. And then if you don't have the capital, they're taking both. I strongly advise against it. Otherwise, I would have done it, I could have had both with my farm, and I would have made money on the equity, but I would be paying double the interest, and then the moment it goes down, or the moment something else happens unexpectedly, you'll kind of get clapped. Lambda. Oh, there isn't Lambda. Is there one? Is there ADR you could trade? But yeah, that just came out. CNBC was just talking about it. I think that's where it dropped. Interested in selling or pulling equity to buy a new place? I would probably sell it, then pull the equity in this environment, or you could use your long term if it's a good deal. But I think we're just getting to that point in this cycle. You guys remember, like, even in 2021, 2022? So it starts with motherfuckers wanting to quit their job to day trade, and then it leads into motherfuckers are like, yo, how can I get more of what I have for not with what I own? I want to have more than I own. And then they start trying to pull out equity and do all this other shit. So, yeah, I just think you guys know the wisdom. I mean, how dare you have a badge and not know this? But, yeah, you know the answer. I would be, it always repeats. This happens every time, I think. The first time it happened, it just wasn't as aggressive and quick. That's why everyone was shocked by, like, 2021 and shit. But, you've kind of have a recent example, but you are getting the same thing. That's why I'm telling you, bro. Do you guys not realize what happened on a lot of people got like inspired and mad on Friday with the whole look back option thing, because it just highlighted a lot of the Chad experience. And like I'm telling you, bro, those of you who are not, like, don't be a dumbass. I'm telling, and I love you, but I don't love you. Like I said, I am telling you this as somebody, I don't live with your consequences. Nobody is going to. I am just telling you the truth. And it's just like, you guys got to really think about it, because what a lot of people realized, and like, that's why it was both inspiring and angering to some. Dude, if you just fucking stayed in your fucking lane, played it slow, what seemed like it was slow, you know what I'm saying? You would have gotten exactly what you wanted. I'm telling you, you would have gotten every single thing you would have wanted. Otherwise, what happened, the people who bit the fucking apple, they either did good for a little bit and then gave it back up, or it just crushed them completely. That's it. There's very few and far between. Even the guys with the fat ass accounts in here, what do you think they did? They just long-term their fucking money. That's it. They did long-term, put a little on the side with trading, and then that ballooned into a big amount because they weren't really going crazy trying to live off of it, and they were able to think clearly. And then but again, just if you go year after year without fucking up, you are gonna do good. That's it. Just don't fuck up. That's what I'm saying. These whole, like, let me over lever, I feel behind, I need to go, bitch, you are ahead right now. Why don't you realize it? Look at your log, you are literally beating the whole entire world. And then it's just like, but even on a grand scope of it all, it's like, dude, some of you think you're behind and you're in the fucking lead. You're letting your lack of either fear is fucking with you, unknown fear, or fear of something that you shouldn't be afraid of, and it's clouding your thinking because you're in the lead now, taking the bait and to give up your lead. What the fuck is wrong with you? So yeah, man, I'm telling you, you're better off making good moves little by little and stacking them up brick by brick, every single good move, than trying to speed up and do crazy shit that's gonna fuck you up. That's what's happened. That's why, dude, we have a fuck ton of money behind us now. All of you guys, that's what I'm saying, dude. You guys have power, and we're gonna get more. I want more. You should want more. And that's why I said my commitment is to those people, not anybody. It's been 5 fucking years, 6 years. So that's why I'm saying, though, for all of you, even if you made the mistake, you may not like my aggressiveness. I'm not trying to hurt you, but I do hope you catch this. I hope you understand this. And that's what I'm saying, just like, bro, some of you are already in a good position. Even if you wanted to start over today, little by little, you're going to be better off. But it's not sexy. It's not going to, and you're going to look around and watch dumbasses. It's going to seem one way, but it's not. The reality is this plan we've been doing has been working. It's been working before I was even alive. It's been working before I started doing it. It works when I do it. It works when you do it. It don't fucking matter. It's going to work. But you can't demand the time. You should understand time and become a friend of it. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Why are y'all getting afraid of time? Why are you fighting time? Little by little. So that's what I'm saying. Leverage, over leverage, pulling money, borrow against the long term. This is all fuck shit. Like I'm telling you, this is how people get in trouble. When do you use it? You use it when you have a steal of a fucking deal right on your hands. You get what I'm saying? That I'm not against that. Just like, dude, Trump coin came out, I dumped everything, I put it in. And some of you will argue on that type of opportunity. That's fine. I'm just saying, a house comes your way and it's 50% below value, bro. Fucking, okay, go lever, go do whatever you want. Run it and then do it quick, do it fast, do it safe. That's it. Clean your hands and then you're done. But other than that, like, there's no real good deal, or there's no fucking opportunity of a lifetime coming your way. Why the fuck do you want to give anybody your money or the rights to your money? Fuck that. So yeah, I think you got to follow that. And if you do, I don't think it's going to hurt you. The worst case scenario, you're going to get everything you wanted slower. Oh no. So yeah, man, that's literally how it's played. I don't see that one. That you said it's halted. Agilent? Is it? I don't see it on my thing, but I see TSM on the high. It's all fear, bro. That's it, you guys. I might make you listen to it again. Fear. Even feeling behind is a dumbass fear. That's what I'm saying. Some of y'all, it's fear. When you are fearful, you cannot think properly.
That's the truth. Any sort of fear. Even the fear of going to hell, motherfucker. That's why you got all of it. Do not be afraid. That's what the Lord commands. But this is where you are giving space to bad decisions, especially if it's rooted in fear. I would argue fear is the damn devil. So that's all he could do to you. All you could do is get afraid, and then you do a bad decision. That's what I'm saying. And this propaganda and these people, bro, they be pouring shit into your mind, but they don't live with the consequences. You do. Don't be afraid of that. I would embrace that and know that, hey, it's my life. That's your life too, bro. Go and be content, but stop being afraid and saying, oh, I'm afraid I'm not going to have this. I'm afraid I'm going to miss out. I'm afraid. It's all fear. And you're not thinking clearly when you're afraid. So I think wisdom, knowledge, you use it. That's what I'm saying. Be confident. Have some hope too. Especially if you already built some assets. You guys aren't doing bad. And you're going to do a lot better. Like I'm saying, worst case, it comes in slow. I laugh when I say that now. Because like I remember, some people would really get like stressed out about the speed. But dude, I love it. I love slow, man. It's not a bad thing. And don't be afraid of that. You're going to get what you want. But you have to, again, act accordingly. All right, man, you're ripping. You're ripperoonieing. Or maybe if we're lucky, we get back to open. Nivda. That's giving you a little bit of a pump. All right, Canada launches dispute against Atlantis. I think that's reiteration. Tell me why. So yeah, man. And listen, if you guys want to make dumb decisions, please hit me up. You know that? Because I used to let you guys give away your shit. Nah, just give it to me in the chat then. I'm fine with that. If you want to go against all the advice in the attempt to gamble and leverage, just give it to us. Let me give it to a Chad then. If you want to go put up your house for fucking a loan, I'll do it. And that's what I'm saying. Don't give it. If you want to hand it away, at least give it to the community than giving it to fucking Jeffries and these rich ass banks already. Very, very simple. I don't know. What do you think? I think that's fair. Because I'm telling you, these are all like fucking loan sharks, bro. You guys are involving yourself in some, you know what I'm saying? The only person who's going to want that deal is the person taking the fees and the assets that's backing it. So, you know what? There's a lot of money in the chat, and I think we could go and do it then. I will just pair you guys up and at least give it to the chat if you're going to start giving away your money or your assets in the hopes of gambling. Tell me mine. And see. I never wanna hear you say I leveraged everything today. Why? Why did you do that? Oh, you didn't need to do that. I can't believe you did that. That's crazy. Strike with is that a SPAC? Energy. And then Roblo on the low. Unit. Alright, man, you're just getting a lot of. None of these moves are like, it's all premium. Like, they're moving, but none of them are going to move premium, sadly. Until it gets, like, crazy. Yeah, and Verizon and AWS decelerate. NVIDIA gave you that little pump right there. And then just watch Amazon, because that was the leader in the morning. Again, a couple names like SoFi and all that are just holding up.
tell you that. Well, yeah, I'm just saying, man. Like, the only people who are gonna allow you guys to do this are people who are trying to, like, subtly rob you. I'm saying, are you gonna find somebody who disagrees with everything I said? Yes. And they're gonna probably be the one to sell it to you. So, like I'm saying, you want a fucking loan? I have money, and the Chad has a lot of money too. And if you guys want to lever and be dumb, at least give it to us. But I don't think you should do it. Just like all the real estate deals I've done over the last 5-6 years with you guys, if there's money to be had, I tell you to take it. And I have refused it in all of those instances. So like I'm saying, I'll tell you the true answer. I will tell you the truth in a very unbiased third-party manner. But if you're going to insist on it and fucking believe these advisors and people pulling you aside and, yeah, come here, you might as well just give the deal to us then, and I'll do it. Or one of they will. It's very simple. When am I coming out with the mixtape? Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know. I want to work on I'm like some rock songs, bro. It is. It's just like a payday loan, but you have more shit nowadays. You just don't get it. You see what I'm saying? It's like, and that's why it's like, if you're not used to money and assets and you didn't really understand, you're gonna involve yourself in this mess. Like I'm saying, there's a time and a place. I'm cool with being open to that. And like I told y'all, you get a fucking home run of a deal, take it. Go lever up and fucking run it. But that's not every day. That's not going to be every deal. And that's why it's like you have to be able to really use that, you know, and hunt and make sure you use your mind to find a good deal. And then we could talk about, hey, if I don't take this deal, I'm going to miss out on 30-40%. If all the check boxes are checked, it's there, you need the cash, do it. But on just anything normal, or you feel like FOMO and everyone's like, oh, I could get more. More isn't always good if you can't handle it. Or especially if it comes at a very high price or rate. Yeah, exactly. You find the deal first, and then I'll tell you how to get it. But if you're like, I want to fucking get a bunch of cash, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it, that's a recipe for disaster. Tell me why. I want it long trade. Alright, boys. A-Tech? What happened to that? A-Rec one? What happened to that shit? Yeah, they got clapped. All of them. Sermal. It's weird because they've all been like clapped, but they all hold that little box range. I don't know how to describe it. They're all still like one step above, but almost giving up. I like money. You like money? ACVA, ARLP. Eli Lilly, man, that one actually did hold up really good. I want to see the premiums though. Remember I was telling you my premium thing didn't trigger. I was like, you could front run it, but let's see. No, they didn't fucking move. That's crazy. One set moved, but not on the bid. No, my gosh. Yeah, so like even Eli Lilly, you had to be like near the money and you got paid on it, but if you weren't, you didn't get shit. Like I'm saying, they won't even add the bids. Because remember that day I told you, I was like, bro, the computer's just eating my bid, which was great. But yeah, you ran into a different issue. Someone just went heavy on those. Yeah, there's some more volume coming in, like stock and options on that. But yeah, you got to either go near the money, and now it's good because if you didn't get washed on any of the premiums, start finding near the money ones because those are going to be a lot better than not. But just be wary of something without a bid because it may not come back. Musa. I had an ummu named Musa. All right, boys. You're looking good. Dude, it's only 9 o'clock, you guys. Only 9 o'clock. Is this real? I think this is real. Would you guys like to see a cool video? Eli Lilly again if you still want him, but I think near the money is your best bet. But look at this. Did you guys know there's a gas pumping championship? And then SPY now, this is the highest, again, back to that point, but highest you've been in a couple of hours getting off of that low. But look, have you guys seen this?
Good luck, dude. Attempt the perfect pump.
Have you seen the gas pumping Olympics? Look at it. You're supposed to, I do this all the time when I pump gas. Oh!
He just got a perfect
pump.
Baby. Tom, good luck, dude. Attempt the...
Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing, man. Very fascinating. You found the stock market live in 2020, trading options. You believe you're close to making it big, having kids nonstop. If I built the long term, oh baby. Yeah, I mean, the options will be good if you treat it how it should be. It's a small side bet. That's all. It's a small side bet, but, you know, go slow and steady with the long term. I don't think anybody will regret it. Nobody has. If they have, they're like, oh, I made money slowly. It's like, that's it. It hasn't really been crazy. But again, you mix it in with housing and other stuff. It's going to serve you, man. And at the very least, it'll, and all the stuff, you know, long term from Bitcoin and all that at the right time, man, they were very, very good things. So, but you got to do it. You got to stick with it. Tell me why. You saw that? Yeah, I saw that. That was nuts. I just saw that. I thought it was AI, but apparently that's a thing. You know, they go hard. When you build the foundation, like long-term savings, and you get hopefully a house too, DOJ says funds available for 50% of November food aid benefits. Can you buy beer with the food stamps and shit, or did they exclude that? Because I don't know how that factors into DO and TAP. But yeah, if you get the foundation, I mean, you will realize how easy the trading will become. And then without it, it does get very difficult. Or it's just, you're chasing the dragon. You're not going to build wealth off of side bets. You will get lucky. You will make big money when they hit. But you're not going to build your financial career and like stability with that. On the side, it's going to add a lot. But, prioritize. And that's why I'm like, it's like some of you already put in a lot of time already. So that's the good part. It's going to open up these doors. You just make sure you stay very disciplined with it. And then vice versa, though. It's like the irony of all of it is the people that wanted it so fast, they were willing to break the rules, not listen, ignore it. You guys have to start over. You have to build the foundation again, because now that's the whole game of this. They get you to make bad decisions, get you to fall behind, and now you're like, it's hopeless. Some of you were saying that to me 5 years ago. Think about it. You thought the situation then was hopeless. So imagine now. And like, that's the whole thing. And then it's like, oh, well, now I have to do crazy risks. No, you just need to start out, just like richest man in Babylon. He says, you fool, you uprooted your money tree. Go and replant it again. And then that's it. You got to go through it and build it up. But let's start the clock. That's what I encourage all of you to do. If you haven't already, some of you got, you're running on several years, over half a decade. But if you haven't, you need to start the clock and get that going so that you can get to what you want to do. But, this forcing it, the speed, the timing of it, it's not gonna work. I never wanna hear you say it. I saw my light turn to day. No beer or cigarettes? Yeah. I was saying, that probably had some impact, but I don't know. I think they've done that for a while. Some people are shocked by the whole selling food stamps thing. I was surprised. That's why I said, I was like, I think it's going to blow some of your guys' minds, but I mean, that's a very common thing. Fed daily supported rate cut. She says, I have an open mind on December. I don't know if that's causing it, but that sounds good. But then again, who cares what they say? Alrighty, you're back on the way up. So my only thing you did was stopped investing, but you still held the LT. That's good. It's better than fucking up. But yeah, just make sure you guys start it and keep it going. But it is kind of crazy how it played out. I'm saying a lot of y'all had some good long terms that I saw. I did get to see some of you had some dog shit too when I looked at some of the emails and if you sent the whole portfolio. But generally, bro, very impressive. And it makes sense, you guys know we didn't all start with that, and it was able to grow over several years of saving and good investments and still sticking with it. So always do that. Oh, I want to make another one. You know that? I want to make another long term because I think I'm going to cut Colt's sister and just give it to her and just let her do whatever she wants with it. And then I want to make one for my little baby nieces and nephews. Because, I think a couple of them don't have one. They have long terms, but not I want to make a nice one for my little niece. I have another nephew too, but yeah, I was like, might as well do it for the kids. And then if they they can't touch it till they're 18. And then if they end up being a jackass, they say, oh, sorry, I sold it. But then if they're good, it'll be their business capital. Start a long term for my future children? What the fuck do you think I have then? What? Wait, what have I been doing this whole time? Ah! Yeah, it'd be the same. Yeah, the strategy wouldn't change. I would just be pretty much depositing because the kid can't deposit. I don't think they got a job. That'd be dope though if he be, you know, getting some hours in at age like 5 or some shit. That'd be like very impressive. Very impressive. But yeah, generally it'd be the same exact strategy. It wouldn't really be, you know, I think like a cool IRA or something for like taxes, but I would like them to have dividends. But even then, good growth, a good just little by little consistency. That's really what's going to create it. First child's due in a month. Wow, that's exciting. I'm glad you already got a long-term started. That's what I'm talking about. Nancy Pelosi will not seek re-election in 2026. Wasn't that a couple months ago we heard that? I think she's going to try something else. When is Gavin Newsom going to stop? He's terrible. I don't know, bro. If they fuck up this redistricting and then they pass all of that, like, online shit, I low-key might have to leave Cali, bro. So, I don't know. I don't know where I'm gonna go. Fucking maybe Wisconsin or something? You guys think I'd fit in Nebraska? I want, you know, some middle of the America shit. She may run for Supreme Leader next. South Carolina. Texas. I haven't been to Texas in a minute. I'd be down to visit. Should I do that in December before, like, I think before like the end of the year? I'll have like a week. I should just go to a bunch of U.S. states, wherever y'all at. We could party. I mean, my version of partying is sitting around a fire talking. You could ask the other guys. I don't know if we'll have weather conditions that will permit, but yeah. I forgot. I really want to go to Chicago, actually. So maybe, bro. Maybe. How does Chicago compare to like New York? What's the difference? NVIDIA again. So that was the first thing that helped us melt up here a little bit. Same, slightly cleaner. New York wasn't that, like, New York has like graffiti and shit, but in a weird way, New York is like cleaner than like LA and San Diego. Like the sidewalks are clean. Here it's disgusting. But like that was the weird part about it. NVIDIA again. Let me see the premiums now. Because again, those good premiums we had the other day, they were good for a little bit, but yeah, the other premiums aren't even fucking moving. They're not even budging. Oh, you went to the marathon too? No way. A couple of Chads went to the New York Marathon. That's dope. Wait, wasn't it like flooded though? You got an open crib in Nebraska? All right, say less. I'm like dead ass serious though. I like the middle of America. I've always wanted to like see it. Like I want to see the Mount Rushmore. Isn't that South Dakota? I want to see all that. I want to see all these areas. I want to see Wisconsin. I want to see Nebraska. I want to see what the fuck Buffett's been up to. Chicago's much cleaner. So it's not littered with trash, just bullets. That's good to know, I guess. So maybe I'll go to Chicago. We'll pull up, bro. We'll pull up. You're in Idaho pheasant hunting? Wow. That's dope, bro. And there's murdering birds, but that's cool. I still have not gone hunting yet. Can we go hunting then? I'll do one, bro. I'll clap one bird or something, and then, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not judging you. That's why it's like I'll clap one, bro. I'll clap one, and then we'll see how I feel about it. But I'm like down for some tactical shit. But like the animal don't know. Like nobody told him. He's like, why y'all laying down and shit? Turkey hunting. Hunt pythons in the Everglades. That's kind of dope, actually. I'm down to stomp some snakes. UNG and Boyle on the high. Someone just tried to break open. So what's that? Was that somebody try to break open your door? Kick them. Say or rebuke them in the name of the Lord. You know, it works sometimes. Honestly, all the time. You'd be surprised. Your uncle's charter? I want to go on a fishing charter. They have them. I think, isn't it season right now, or is it end of season in Cali? Because like they have those in Newport and San Diego. They have sport fishing charters. And then you could like go with all the fishers, and then you stay out for like 4 to 6 hours. They even have overnight ones. And then you just catch fish with the pros. Like, you know, in San Diego, you could catch your own yellowtail. Like, you know how people like yellowtail tuna fish or whatever? You could like catch your own yellowtail. Big fan. It's a big, big fish with lots and lots of ocean. I need to go to the bathroom. We got 30 minutes till power philo, so we'll call it. But yeah, follow me on Instagram at the Trading Fraternity. Real Coat News on Twitter. Yeah, yellowfin tuna. Catch it in like San Diego, Mexico. They have good, dude. You could catch you could catch fire ass fish in San Diego. I didn't know that till I started talking to the fishers. But yeah, you could pick some good shit. All right, I'll be right back.
Investors, but they take a while to show up. They'll trickle in over the next year or two.
Matt, Bitcoin, let's turn to Bitcoin real quick. It was up 300% since BlackRock had filed 2 years ago, but it has had a kind of shaky last couple months. Some of the OG Bitcoiners are whining and upset. What do you say to them and other people? Why isn't Bitcoin up more given all this institutional adoption?
Yeah, I mean, it is up a lot, right? It's up, 150% since, or 100+% since the ETFs launched. It's doing just fine. I do think we're seeing some amount of selling around the $100,000 level, likely from people who bought Bitcoin when it was $10,000 or $1,000. We have to work through that sell wall. Once we do, I think we'll see substantial upside. Look, I think it shouldn't be surprising to anyone. $100,000 is a big round number.
Right.
There were probably people who bought and wanted to sell there. We'll eventually get through it. I think in another 6 months, maybe another month, we're going to see another big uptick.
All right, Matt, great to get some time with you. That is Bitwise Asset Management CIO, Matt Hogan. That does it for Bloomberg TV's ETF IQ. This is Bloomberg.
Jesus. Praise God. Amen, amen. It's a call, baby. Hey. Yeah. If we talking plays, yeah, I'm in there like swimwear. I've been there, I've done this shit for 10 years. You could have it all, but you been scared, big scare. Funny part, there wasn't even risk there. My thoughts been my own, yeah, I've been clear, no fear. Oh dear, who you try to control here? My God is the weapon, I ain't boasting. Nah, it's done. Daddy said it's finished, made me in his image, but that always made me timid. Wonder why we different, don't you ever get it twisted. It's the only way we get it, set apart from the start. And the heart isn't ours, it's a hippie with the love, but it's David with the sword. I want peace, so that means you gon' kill me if it's war. Nietzsche, Trotsky, can't beach on the ark. Want it easy or hard, want a genie or a god, then believe me, lil' bro, you a child, you a son of the highest in the bud. Don't deny it, we don't like it when they tell us who we are. I can tell you who I was, I can tell you who he is. I can make another song that's telling y'all about the crib, but for a second, keep it real, it's not the reason they will kill. It's the freedom in believing they want death to bring the will. But I'd rather have it now, and I ain't never backing down. Lion gonna eat me or turn his ass around. Either way, I will remain up in his name and say a prayer. Here, let's say it now. Jesus. I put Jesus on the beat so I can listen to it. I got reason to believe that we living in it. You could say it's one hell of a decision in it. Ay, if we talking plays, yeah, I'm in there like swimwear. I've been there, I've done this shit for 10 years. You could have it all, but you been scared, big scare. Funny part, there wasn't even risk there. My thoughts been my own, yeah, I've been clear, no fear. Oh dear, who you try to control here? My God is the weapon, I ain't boasting. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Do a push-up as well, brethren. A push-up as well. It's all good for you, bro. Amen. Amen. Oh. Happy Monday. Happy November. Happy Daylight Savings. Happy the Market Maker Hates You Day. Well, it's kind of been like that for a little bit. But my goodness, Chattadonia. My goodness. Hi, my name is Slim Shady. Am I gonna play Arc Raiders? No, what's that? I thought that was like Indiana Jones. But I don't know. I've been having a blast on Battlefield. You guys, I unlocked the 50 cal. Finally. Yeah, that's good. I've been doing that. New game. I feel like I've heard of it, but I thought, is it Star Wars? Oh, Pepsi at 140. And then, dude, Hershey's. That's why my girl, she was like, what company makes Halloween candy? I'm like, Hershey's? Hershey's would have been a great pickup at the beginning of the year. Came down a little, actually. That might be a fire one, low-key. If they dump this into year-end, if we get back to those, like, wasn't it lower? No, I guess 140. But, yeah, that might be one to keep in mind, friend. Not there yet, but end of year. It's PvE and PvP at the same time? Oh, what? That sounds pretty cool. Arc Raiders? But what is it, though? Like, what's the game mode? Or, like, what is it? A lethal future ravaged by mechanized threat known as the Ark. Let's see, can I see the trailer? Let's get a trailer up. Arc Raiders? Rated T for teens.
Doors are closing in 5.
So is it Star Wars? Or is it some just random future shit?
They said the world above had ended.
So it's like the 100?
But endings are only for those who forgot how to begin
It's like the 100
again.
mixed with Fallout? Nivda again.
So you learn to listen, to move quiet, think fast.
This looks like the 100. Am I tripping?
Be ready to change your mind. Up there, the roads are twisted. The rules are gone.
It's literally the plot of the 100.
But if you are brave enough to wander and seek, who knows what you might find.
Nivda again. So see when the premiums start moving. Again, near the money will, but anything else. The ones with time are holding, but yeah. I'm not as sold on this trailer, guys. I need to see the PvP stuff and how it operates. It sounded cool. Kind of sounds like Halo. All right, let me get one more push-up in, or let me do one more hip stretch. I put Jesus on the beat, so not Jesus on the beach. Why would we put Jesus on the beach? I mean, I guess. I put Jesus on the beach so I can listen to it. I remember I said 212. I think that's what triggers the premium, but we'll see.
14% this decade. So I'm looking for a new return target of about 16 to 18%. So how they get there and how they put some meat on the bones for those growth strategies will be very important this Wednesday.
Okay, that makes sense. And you're referring to the return on tangible common equity. And right now, they've set a target, I guess, of the high teens. It's currently at around.
No, they currently, Bank of America, I don't know of them to have any target. So first of all, let's hear a target.
Oh, excuse me. Analysts are expecting something in the high teens.
Okay, so. Yeah, so I think 16 to 18% seems reasonable, but it's really the how are they going to get there is what's going to be important. And I think when it comes to traditional banking deposit taking, Bank of America has excelled. But for being such a strong bank, they've underperformed in terms of growth of the less traditional activities, wealth management, credit cards, banking, trading, even total loan growth for the last 15 years has lagged at Bank of America. So there's no skill in never taking risk. You don't want them going back to 2007 when they took too much risk. So this has been a risk-off company in a risk-on year to explain the stock price. So I expect them to have more of an opportunistic risk mindset going forward.
You've mentioned the areas where they have room to grow. Where is it already strong? Where is it, kind of delivering already to the way that it can, the maximum that it can?
Well, wow. I mean, Bank of America's $1 trillion of retail deposits. I mean, those customers really love the service, and they have connections with, automatic bill pay and, all sorts of interactions. They've had 3 billion interactions with their Erica chatbot for the past decade. Talk about AI. So that's really working. The bread and butter, the raw materials of a bank are deposits. That's worked really well. The challenge and opportunity is to leverage those relationships to do more.
Okay. Are we going to get any kind of insight into succession planning at Bank of America? They're going to showcase some senior executives below the CEO tier, according to our reporting.
Well, to up the drama, and the bar is low for bank analysts, okay? It doesn't take much to have some drama, but they recently named 2 co-presidents, Dean and Jimmy, as we know them colloquially. It'll be the first time we get to see those 2 individuals in their new roles, and they're overseeing jointly Bank of America's 8 lines of business. So the question is, how are they going to instill extra intensity, growth, and accountability to those 8 lines of business? And so it could be one of those 2. Alistair, the CFO, is very capable CFO. So I'd say it's a 3-person horse race to become the next CEO, and this will be a chance to the investment world to analyze them.
So is it overstating things to say that this investor day is crucial to BofA's future?
I think this is the right time for Bank of America's Investor Day. It's the first one in 15 years. So what is Bank of America's plan from now to the end of the decade? How are they going to improve their growth? How are they opportunistically going to take risk? How are they going to improve their returns? And lastly, with this world and their experience with AI and technology, how are they going to improve their efficiency? This should be one of the most efficient banks on the planet with all the tech and AI that they've done. So that'll be really interesting to hear.
All right, I also want to get your take on Citigroup because you have recently objected to the CEO and now Chairman Jane Frazier's her retention bonus. You call it the latest example of the firm paying in excess. So this is a company problem or a culture problem at Citigroup?
This is a 25-year-old problem at Citigroup. Citigroup's CEOs have made I think over $400 million in the last 25 years when the stock price has gone down 3/4 and the stock market's gone up 3x. So I've written about that. I wrote that in my book, Exile on Wall Street. I talked about it when I testified to the inquiry commissions related to the financial crisis. And I'd say in the case of Jane Frazier at Citigroup is my first, second, and third top picks. So I love Citi stock.
And you love what they've been doing.
And I love what Jane Frazier's been doing, and I think they're going to succeed, but I might be wrong. And if I'm wrong, guess what? I'm probably going to make a lot less, and I think Jane Frazier should make less too. She shouldn't get a retention bonus now, at least until they get double-digit returns, at least until the regulatory consent order is lifted, or at least let the year end. So I just thought that was, at best, premature to give her a retention bonus at this time, even while I think this is a generational change in how Citi conducts business.
Okay, so you don't object to her ascension to chair of Citigroup or anything like that. It's just kind of the prepayment of everything first.
Absolutely, and this Citi has a long history. They implicitly failed 5 times in the last century. Again, I write about this in my book. I write in my book about their poor pay for performance practices. So I literally, when I put out a note about Jane Frazier, the recent retention bonus, I literally quoted my book, and here we are 15 years later.
Crypto in the wallet, but we bought it 10
practices.
years
Now,
ago.
I understand it because she's
videos,
probably
put it
the
in
best
the
CEO
lyrics,
they've
bro.
had.
Funny how a
in the
cynical fuck still didn't
since
hear
the
it, though.
merger in 1998.
Forgive me for the language.
But she
I'm still working on
still
the
has to
spiritual.
deliver. It's kind of like you see someone in the gym and they're training really well and they're doing
Mr.
push-ups and stuff.
Professional.
But when it comes to
Talk
game
about the
time,
revenue.
do they actually deliver? Next year is when they have to deliver.
You know, going back, you look at Jane Frazier, her background is as a management consultant at McKinsey, and James Gorman was also a management consultant, and he basically turned around Morgan Stanley. Are management consultants maybe better at running these big banks than most bankers?
Stop. No, it's not one size fits all. As for those who remember, I mean, I said the same thing about Morgan Stanley early last decade. They were my 3 top picks: Morgan Stanley, Morgan Stanley, Morgan Stanley. You have the clips on Bloomberg. You look it up, and everyone said James Gorman wasn't a banker, wasn't a trader. He's a consultant. Forget about him. Then all of a sudden, he walked on water by the time he left. And you've had some bad consultants who became CEOs too. But I think Jane Frazier, she has a great blueprint, architectural blueprint for how to run Citi for the next 25 years with the 5 lines of business and holding the 5 CEOs of those line of business accountable. So it's a simple but powerful move that people underappreciate. So I think that's a game changer for how Citi's going to perform and execute the next few years.
All right, Mike Mayo, head of U.S. large cap bank research at Wells Fargo Securities, giving us his preview to Bank of America's Investor Day taking place on Wednesday. It's first in 15 years. Thank you so much.
Oh, wow.
Now, last week we covered Meta's massive $30 billion bond sale to fund its AI investments. That was the 5th biggest debt sale on record. Well, now Alphabet looking to sell about $22 billion of bonds in the U.S. and Europe. And right now we're learning that the U.S. sale has drawn about 9.
Tell me why all the premiums hate your face. None of these have moved today. I'm not playing with the delay. No, bro, you guys shouldn't be on the delay. Yeah, I mean, DVR would be the only cause. Non-terminal DVR. All right, well, maybe the SPY has DVR with these premiums. You know what I'm saying? Well, Chad, it's almost time. I can't believe it's November, you guys. Isn't that nuts? So around this time, you were having the election. Isn't that crazy? This was a year ago around this week. We were getting ready for the election. You guys thought I was going crazy. You know, you don't remember? And then like 2 months before that, remember? I started supporting Donald Trump out of nowhere. And then RFK came next. Oh, that was a good time. Imagine what world we would have been in. And then right after, everybody still acted the same and got mad for making money. And I said, why? I thought that's what you wanted me here for. And then 1 year later, a lot of changes. Political ideology still roughly the same. It's amazing. Well, no, people were talking about it today with the bonds. They're saying how, like, pretty much all these big tech companies are lowering their credit rating by taking on so much debt, but there's so much demand for it that everybody wants it. It's really weird. Again, just like the CapEx and the spending on data centers, for now, it's a good sign, but if all of this shit fucks up, it's going to hit really hard on the back end. So it's very odd, but because pretty much it's lowering their credit rating. They're taking on massive amounts of debt. There's a lot of demand for it. It's good capital. It's good funding, but at the same time, it's just like, yeah, if this, think about it. Remember after rates and we've all came back and we're like, oh, this company has this much, and you know, they're going to have to pay it back eventually, and it changes, you know, the fundamental value. But for now, investors are viewing it as a good thing. It means you're in the game, you're not falling behind, but you know, and then again, people are willing to pay a lot of money behind it. So how that leads into, you know, as long as it doesn't go bad, you're fine. It's a good thing. But the moment we start to see some of, you know, the debt come back to bite, depending on the return on these investments, then we will know. I'm still doing my stretches, believe it or not. Long chain. Yeah, Eli Lilly, it's great. The ones too far at the money didn't move. Mid money to like near the money, they're starting to go even more. And there's actually a good amount of demand. Down detector, AWS pops, YouTube, and Etna. It's the same, man. It kind of felt like that in the morning, but so I was like, you know, any second now. But so thankfully, it wasn't too bad. But we'll see. SoFi still going. Let's see, Amazon. It's good though. I like Hershey's. Now it's coming down a little. I mean, yeah, starting what, 2 months, the big beautiful bill comes into play. All those tax write-offs. There's a ton of shit. That's what I was saying though. Just a couple months ago, we are like right around the corner there. And then once that kicks in, it will start to get interesting. long term. We believe in the long term. EDSA? Who is EDSA? Oh, decent pop. It's up 20 cents. It's not loading. It's a biotech. And then today there's a lot of decline. Like FDA fucked up a lot of companies. That was after the first round of all good ones yesterday. They are maintained at a $5 target acute respiratory disease syndrome, phase 3. That's not now. That was earlier in the morning. Yeah, they scheduled November 17th at 10:45 a.m. They have a showcase, and then Bio Europe conference November 3rd at 4 p.m. So they have two. They have two back-to-back conferences. That's weird. That one came out a couple days ago. But yeah, they're at a conference at 4. I have no idea what they make. And then October 28th, they reported phase 3 data. ARDS. Yeah, they got clapped the other day. So we'll see. Yeah, Eli's fire, bro. Back at those 900s. QURE? What is it? Sounds familiar. I forgot. Didn't they had something today? Dude, there was a lot. There's a lot. Wasn't that M&A activity? Oh, that was they got killed by the FDA? Yeah. I don't know if that was buyout or not. But remember, like, it kind of makes sense. I didn't really see it coming, but you guys remember when, like, XBI and all that, it was like 2 weeks of just good FDA news. And then I think this week is where the declines come in. There was one today that had good news, but yeah, it's not really widespread. Okay. The data phase 2 comparison. Oh, that was the one that they fucked them. We read that one in the morning. Yeah, they said that their whole trial. No, yeah, pretty much FDA was like, yeah, all your data, phase 1, 2 is not reliable anymore. You guys are like, can you do another one? Investment bank to explore Warner's. Oh no. WBD Netflix headline. See, that might move it. I can't, dude, even then though, it's been climbing. So 18 was the last time we didn't want to play it, but did. And then now it's going, but once again, it's been like a month and you still haven't had a answer on any of that. They said 30 or nothing. Did they?
This is really the fourth leg of this stool that Texas has wanted. And again, I think it's a great affirmation of both what's going on in Texas and that Texas represents the point where people can invest in this growing Texas economic boom, economic miracle, if you will.
All right, I also want to get your take on what's happening in Washington. What do you think of Speaker Mike Johnson's strategy of keeping House Republicans out of Washington during the ongoing shutdown?
Well, I guess a lot of my former colleagues are certainly sharpening their golf games now. Regrettably, this is kind of a game of chicken. I've lived through it before. I'm not here to ascribe, blame to either party. I'll take off the previous partisan hat. Mm-hmm. But I would say that it is obviously a calculated move to try to put pressure on the Democrats to vote for the continuing resolution to keep the government open. And we'll have to see if it works. I think the greater pressure point is what we see with SNAP benefits, known as food stamps, that are running out, and now the people getting notice of their premium increases in the Affordable Care Act, aka Obamacare, and not to mention the fact now members of the House aren't having to commute back and forth, but all of a sudden some pretty brutal TSA lines are going to get people's attention here. But ultimately, the president's going to call the shots on this. Mm-hmm. On the one hand, on the other hand, I think you see movement in the Senate, not so much the leadership of Senator Schumer, but kind of more rank and file Democratic senators, and some Republicans are deciding we got to find a way forward on this. And it could be that they couple this continuing resolution with what we call a minibus, which may package some of the 26 appropriations bills together. Mm-hmm. The bottom line is, if you look at history, people have got to be able to point to something that they will be able to argue in victory and able to move this thing forward.
Jeb, before we let you go, in under 60 seconds, we're seeing division within the Republican conference. Are there long-term costs of this strategy to the conference, of keeping House Republicans out of Washington?
Well, I think you see divisions in both parties, and particularly those who are in what we call swing districts or swing states, where they're getting pressure not only from people in the primary, but people representing the general election as well. I just think with the pressure points I mentioned earlier that we are getting much closer to the end of this shutdown than we were from the beginning. I don't think these divisions will last. And again, President Trump is so strong within the Republican Party. When he decides on his position, you're going to see everybody else follow. But I think Senator Schumer has kind of painted himself into a corner. He really can't act. It's got to be more moderate Senate Democrats who are feeling the pressure. A number of them have already come across. I think you'll see some more soon.
Jeb, always a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you so much. Jeb Hensarling, strategic advisor at the Texas Stock Exchange, and of course, a former congressman as well. I'm Scarlett Fu, and that does it for Bloomberg Markets. Balance of Power is up next in Washington. Keep it right here. This is Bloomberg.
No, we're not gonna keep it there. Time to go to Philo. That's where we're going. What a great day for Philo. Way to start off the month. Good. Good.
Alrighty. Well, Chad, if you'd like to hear some Jesus talk, some Bible, non-Bible, everything, brother. It's a beautiful day. Told you it's going to be a good day. I mean, again, it's a different good day, but you were prepared. I don't think the premium crush, you know what I'm saying? It shouldn't have got you too bad. But, oh, we have more. Feels so late early. I can't wait. I can't wait. So, the link will take you there. You don't need to buy anything to join Philo. Just click on the link in the chat and it'll take you to the new video. You know, you know why? Because a wise man said before that, like, you know, if you could speak well, you could explain things, and you really believe them with emotion, it's a great thing. Only if it's wanted. But if you take in unwanted things, even if it's the best thing in the world, you're going to hate it. So that's why. It has a title. It says Philo. You know exactly what you're getting. So if you don't want that, then don't come. No one's trying to force a bunch of talk on you. No one's trying to make you do all that. I know you like my stock market stuff, but unfortunately, we know we've been doing this for a really long time. So I encourage you to make good decisions, because that's how you use your mind. That's how you use your brain. And if you don't like something, don't put yourself around it. If you do like it, I would go to it. Is that not what I do? Like I tell you, block everything. If you don't like it, get away from it. Run away from it. Amen. If you like it, go get all of it. So I look forward to it. I'll see you guys there. God bless America. And peace.